things that like should never have fucking happened, and it's like it's not like. There's something fascinating about.
Let her talk.
Sorry,
because she might think it should have happened. She's crazy. Listen.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day.
So, I've realized that sometimes the intros are kind of lame because it's like, it kind of puts the person on the spot to be like, hey, episode so-and-so, be entertaining, you know?
Also, it forces you to do this thing that you're not ready yet to do.
I don't
like,
feel comfortable
we're
doing.
6 months into this shit, and you're supposed to be like this radio
I'm supposed to
fucking
be a host. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like that takes years to do.
Yeah. Another thing is when someone will hear a podcast, hear an episode, and be like, "I like the interview with David." I'm like, whoa. First of all, it was a conversation. Like interview sounds crazy.
I mean, but to be fair. That's what a conversation is when it's like, I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm going to back up.
I prefer conversation.
What's the definition of you know what? You do your thing?
I just feel like an interview is more like, okay, so this is, let's figure out about you specifically.
Yeah.
And I'm too selfish for that. So I'm like, it's a conversation.
Yes.
It's not even that I'm actually selfish. It's genuinely that I don't want to put that a lot of pressure on someone and be like, here's an interview about you, you know?
Yeah,
because even the intros. So with the intros too, it's like, like I've talked about, like some people, our last two guests, like one of them was a mother of a nonverbal autistic child. One of them was a professional skydiver, more or less. And it's like, so when you don't have those things, it's just like if I came onto a podcast, this would be like, hey, this is this guy. I would just feel like, what are the accolades? You know what I mean?
This reminds me, so when you introduced Josh, the first time we had Josh on here, he was just like, we did this thing where we were just like, what do we do here? And he was just like, my name's Josh. I really don't do shit.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Obviously, he's, a father and does a bunch of shit.
Of course. Yeah. But realistically, it's like,
like, we're not out here, like, fucking writing books and, like, have a bunch of fucking TV credits and shit. Like, it's just like, I am a person who exists. I want to do that. I have a job, like, you know what I mean? You're right.
Well, you want to do all kind of shit.
Yeah.
Now, I don't even know exactly what.
Interview is a meeting of people face to face, especially for a consultation. So it's just like, a meeting literally is that same definition. So, yeah, let's just call it a conversation. You're right.
Yeah. So, you were just in the middle of telling us why anime is the best art form to watch.
Yes. Okay. So this is my argument.
Those weren't your words, but...
Well, that's basically how I feel.
Okay.
I feel like it's the...
I was being a little hyperbolic.
Superior... No. I feel like it's the superior form of entertainment.
See, that's crazy already.
Of all? Or just cartoon?
Of all.
Just cartoon? Or are we talking movies?
All.
See, that's what I'm saying. I told you, when I said strong opinions... I meant with
To be fair, like with a cartoon or something like that, you can do anything in the world, right? Whereas like in a movie, you're limited to like who you can cast.
That's probably one of her points.
So like I get where you're coming from, but I always go back to it's a cartoon. So it's like hard for me to like say it's better than like a live action thing or whatever. But please.
Okay, this is my argument for why I feel like it's the superior form of entertainment. So. You've seen Game of Thrones? Has everyone seen Game of Thrones?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Great to the last two seasons.
Yes.
Okay.
In the early seasons, the point where the eggs finally hatch for Daenerys and the dragons come out, that animation was horrible. It looked like fucking Never-Ending Story. It looked like claymation almost. And I was so deep into the story, right? But when it came out, I was like, oh my God, this looks terrible. My sister and my cousins were with me, I think, and I looked at them and I was like, what is going on? And we all started laughing.
Did y'all watch together every week?
Yes. Oh, not every week, but sometimes.
Okay.
And
that's what I did like about that show. I hate to cut you.
Yeah.
Like it was like a thing where the whole society, because it didn't drop all at once.
That was most HBO shows.
Yeah.
Like True Blood, we used to have True Blood parties like every Sunday.
Right, that's what was fun. It was like the whole world was watching at the same time.
Yes.
And then you couldn't get on social media the next day because people would talk shit about it.
Yes.
All right, so go ahead. So the Game of Thrones animation was shit.
Yes, and it pulled you out of the actual story. It pulled you out of the world that you were living in with them.
But when the whole thing is shit, as like anime, you don't get pulled out.
No. So later on, they fixed the animation. The dragons were bigger, and it looked incredible. It looked beautiful. It looked amazing. And you're like, oh my God. Well, I was like, oh my God, this looks so amazing. And then I started thinking, I wonder how long it took them to do this. I wonder what software they were using. I wonder, either way, it took me out of the story. When you watch anime,
So whether it was hold on, so real quick, when it was bad, it took you out. When it was good, it took you out.
yes.
Damn,
Okay.
so it's so
It took
good.
me out both times.
Yeah, that's a fair point, dude.
I was
never
in the
thought of
world.
that.
I was in the world of Game of
She's
Thrones.
also neurotic, you know.
But no, like something being so fucking amazing that you're like, I have to stop the storyline to like just be in awe
acknowledge
of what
it
I'm
at
seeing.
least. At least acknowledge,
Huh.
right?
They looked incredible, and it was so impressive to me that I started thinking about technically what it took.
Especially in comparison to their older shit, which wasn't
exactly.
good. Right,
I'm
right,
like,
right.
oh wow, they must
they
have got
figured it out.
roasted. They must have got roasted on the first season, and now they're trying to fix it. Like, how many people did they have to fucking lock in the studio for however long? Either way, it took me out of the story. But when you watch anime, everything is animated from the beginning, and whatever someone can dream up or think about or imagine can be drawn, and you are in the story the entire time. It doesn't matter what it is, how outlandish it is. You're in that world. And it has the same deep, heavy concepts that live action shows that we love
I agree
have.
with that.
So it's just like, I don't know.
So, well, like he said, like he mentioned that it's just even being a cartoon, right? As opposed to live action. So that is like a judgmental place, which I also kind of sit in sometimes, where it's like, yeah, but you could draw whatever. And then also I've talked to you about like they what's kind of campy or like hokey, like
when they have a scene where someone like jumps up and it's like yee, and they just like show that for like way too long. It seems like it's like a build up. Like that's what I remember Dragon Ball Z being like when I was a little kid. I didn't watch a lot of it.
I'm down with
and
that.
I knew that you were referencing Dragon Ball Z when you said that.
I didn't even know I was, honestly. I don't even have that much to reference, but I
I'm not a fan of that, but they're all different types of like of genres and delivery for it.
So when I say campy and hokey, real quick, I hate to cut you off. When I just wanted to get that out. So it's like the thing of like when it like it says things that in real life wouldn't be said, right? Like
a caricature, like a emphasis.
Well, just kind of like you'll be watching one and then like you'll like a bad guy will come onto the screen or something, right? But then the main character will be like, oh, this is a bad person. Like he'll say the thing where it's like there's no like there's in some that I've seen. I haven't seen a lot too. I also want to say that too. I'm speaking from a place of ignorance for sure. Speaking from a place of white privilege. But it's like they'll say things where it's like, oh, this is my brother and now he wants revenge. It's like in normal television, they won't say the thing. It's like when I watch a regular show and siblings, this kills me. When like if you're my brother, right? And we're in a show, when they go, hey, can you hand me a soda, brother? Like, who the fuck calls their sibling brother or sister? You
Only
know?
if they're setting up, like at the beginning of a movie.
That's
so
what's frustrating, though. But that's why it's frustrating to me, because
Yeah.
I'm like, you're just setting this up. No one talks like that.
So,
but that's
like-
what takes me out of it. And to your point, in anime, maybe it's like, well, I'm not expecting this to be a real conversation, right? There's almost like a given that it's not like actuality.
Yes. There's a lot of internal monologue. So,
But it's not internal.
No, it is.
But we hear it.
Yeah, half the shit that you read
Oh,
and hear,
I got you.
it's them thinking.
So their internal monologue is now external because we see it and hear it.
So you're in their head and you're hearing what they're thinking, but also there is a cultural difference too, because in Japan you do call your brother and sister like brother and sister.
Okay.
Like you'll be like Nissan, whatever, I get that. Like give me something. Like why am I saying we like I'm fucking Japanese? Yeah, but
You identify as Japanese.
I just fuck with them heavy.
And you've been there?
Yeah.
Okay. But keep going.
But yeah, they do call their siblings like brother and sister. Like as
now, is all anime
so when
Japanese?
it gets translated, it's like brother. No, you have Korean, you have some Chinese.
So is the word what's the word
What's
anime?
manga mean
What
too?
language is that?
That's Japanese.
Okay, so
It's
it
short for
originates.
animation.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
What's
So-
manga?
I literally
mean?
never knew that.
Is that written or is that also
What is it? Can you say it again?
manga?
Manga.
Manga. Sorry.
Manga. I don't know what the word manga means.
Okay, so
I
it's
don't
not
know.
like a form of because I always see like back when like you would go to like Borders or some bookstore, they would like have manga sections. There would be
Yes.
anime, and then manga was like
it's
separate
like a
or some
separate
shit,
thread.
dude. Yeah.
What's unme mean?
Destiny or fate.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That That makes sense. So how long have you been watching it? Who got you into it? Did somebody get you into it, or you've been doing it?
Shout out to my cousins. I have twin cousins, Kevin and Kai.
They're not identical.
No.
Okay.
But they were just
2 men.
Yes. Years ago, they're like, "Oh my god, you have to get into this. Like, you have to watch this."
And how old are you?
I'm like 20.
Okay, so not a kid.
No.
Because so my judgment and misconception was like animated shit's for children.
I know.
You know?
That's what everybody thinks.
Which is such a like obvious like that's such a straw man against anime. You know what I mean? It's like the weakest argument you could. It's not even an argument. It's just genuinely how I felt.
And this is what fucking pisses me off about the voice actors that
Talk
do the
your
dubs.
shit.
So.
Because you're anti-dub.
I am anti-dub 100%. Because I feel like the people that are recording their voice don't understand the story. They just see it as an animated show, like a cartoon.
And they have a job.
And they put like they put a cartoony voice on it like this. And it's like, this is not the feeling that we're trying to convey. But they don't care to read the story.
So maybe that's why they're coming off campy to me too and hokey, right?
Are you watching dub?
Well, I mean, if I have, you know, probably.
Let me ask you a question. When these things are getting dubbed, are they getting dubbed by voice actors, or are they getting dubbed by celebrity voice actors? There's a huge difference, obviously.
Most of the time, they're getting dubbed by voice actors.
Damn, and they're still not getting
and the
budget's
American
low.
voice actors.
Yes, the budget's low. But the original
voice actors,
yes, that are speaking in Japanese, they are reading that shit like they're on
have
camera,
the emotion,
like they're
they
in
have
the movie, like they feel it, they understand the story, they understand the character.
Yeah, it's gotta be a huge difference.
It's a completely different delivery. Like there's a completely different emotional level to it. So yeah, I cannot stand dubs, but yeah,
not everything translates too. I've learned, like,
it's true.
Some things just we don't have a term for some things that they would have a term in their culture. So like some things are just. I would agree with you. Like when I watched Shogun recently, I watched it with the Japanese subtitle because like you.
Oh, I heard that's so good.
It's way better. I watched it both ways.
No.
Okay.
And one of the biggest problems, honestly, is like when you watch it with the American dub, you don't. When you're watching somebody do. What do they do? What is it called when you fucking translate? You're doing. There's a lot of translation in that show, and like so you'll watch the translator translate to the Japanese guy, and then if you're watching it in English, she'll just talk English to that person, then she'll just talk English to that person. You kind of lose the fact that like you're not supposed to understand that. Part, whatever, that's something different. But so yeah, I just kind of anyway. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean it's so. Yeah, I mean So you're not into Dragon Ball Z though?
No.
What was the first anime that got you hooked?
Yes.
Okay. Technical answer would be Full Metal Alchemist. Okay. However,
Full Metal Alchemist.
Yes. However, I watched Avatar before that, and I thought it was incredible.
The Airbender Avatar.
Yes,
shit?
it's
I've
not technically anime, but
right.
it's like
because it's Korean.
No, because it's American. Like it was like inspired by Japanese anime. But the story was fire. And I'm watching it and I'm like, oh my God, this is incredible. I've never seen anything like this. So it wasn't that hard for me to make the leap into actual anime. And once I got in there, I was like, holy shit, this shit is too deep. Like I've never asked deeper, like fundamental questions about humanity than when I'm watching anime.
So there's like some really deep themes in them. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Yes. It's crazy. Like, I don't cry a lot. Like, I don't cry a lot in general. I don't cry when I watch, like, emotional things in live action a lot. But there are some anime, especially, like, Naruto. That's my favorite one. I will bawl. Nothing even sad is happening. But knowing the whole story and seeing where he was at a certain time and, like, what he had to go through, I'll just sit there. I'll just be crying. Like... I don't know. It's incredible. It's beautiful. And I feel like everyone should at least try. You should not start with Naruto, though, because it's like fucking 1,000 episodes. So
many of them are. It's like daunting.
There's not. No. There's a lot of them that are nice little bite-sized nuggets. They're like little snacks that you can watch. There's like 20 or less episodes, and you get the feel for it. So.
Where would somebody find this anime if they wanted to watch it?
Crunchyroll is free.
So Crunchyroll is what though?
It's an app.
Help the people out.
It's an app. You can download it on your smart TV or your phone.
And it's free.
It's free. You'll get commercials in between, or you can, pay for it. It's not that expensive. But
they have all the good shit. So like the good shit's not the big main shit usually. Well, that's not true because you said Naruto.
Yeah.
Naruto? How do you say it?
Naruto.
Naruto. Because people are cunty about how you say the anime.
I know. I can't stand when people say Naruto.
Dude, it's so great. Like, if you want to piss them off, just say which is your favorite Pokemon, or which Naruto is your whatever. You just fucking switch them all up, and it's like they don't like that.
No, yeah.
Sorry, it's not for you. It's for the
a
people who
whole
are dicks about it.
Yeah.
What makes something an anime? I thought it had to be made in Japan, so it doesn't. It has nothing to do with Korea, Japan, or where it's made.
Yeah, I guess that's a good question. What would make it an anime then?
All right. I'm not the fucking
Okay,
of course.
that's fair.
czar of
Yeah,
anime.
of course.
But
You can say that too. You have no fucking.
But you have a better idea than we
in
would.
in my understanding, it has to be in the style of like Japanese animation. And
Visually?
No.
Okay.
It could be.
Okay.
However.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I feel like there's a different word for the ones that are like Korean or Chinese or whatever, like anime, but I don't know what that is, but
So
yeah.
like, you remember Boondocks when it was out?
Yes.
Is that considered anime because it's in the anime style in a way?
Visually, maybe the characters and the eyes and shit.
I would
look
argue the
like,
art
It's
is
inspired-
anime
yeah.
style.
Art, yeah, it's
for sure.
It's
by
inspired
anime.
by Japanese anime, but it's not anime.
Right.
Like-
okay.
Yeah, that's an adult cartoon.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's how I would categorize
Hold
it.
on. You said adult cartoon, so anime is not. It's geared for everyone then, I guess. is what
No,
you're trying to- 'Cause,
anime
like-
can also be adult.
Well, anime is mostly adult.
It is.
Anime is mostly adult. It's for adults.
Which again, I think that comes back to that misconception with like the animated stuff's for kids.
Right.
Right. There's like
And that's our culture. That's
Yeah,
Western
100
culture.
yeah.
That's like people
Because-
saying you need to not have a nummy cream to do a tattoo. Like it's a story. At the end of the day, it's a story.
Look,
Whether
I'm-
it's in a
I'm-
cartoon or
I
it's
am
in a
I'm pro
book.
numbing cream.
I know, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like it doesn't
These
matter if the
people-
words
I'm
come in a book
anti-numbing.
or they
Are
come
you?
out of a fucking
Yeah.
animated
Why?
character.
I'm also a masochist.
Well, right. So that's a different thing. Then
I like
right. That's a
experiencing
whole
pain.
different thing.
Yeah, I'm
'cause-
just joking.
Because you
Like,
won't
if
come
you
with a
wanna-
numbing cream. Yeah, no.
If you want to put numbing cream on, put fucking numbing cream on.
Well, my whole thing is like there's this whole culture, right, where it's like you need to earn it, and
Right.
it's like, do you?
No.
It's for you. It's like, if we're in a biker gang, sure, you know what I mean, or like you're going to go get a stick and poke, sure, but it's like and here's the thing too, I don't even like saying like, well, I got plenty without the numbing cream, because even that don't matter. It's like if every tattoo you've ever, or the people who get put to sleep, you seen that?
No.
You haven't seen that? So like
No.
football players, people with bread, people with big bread, they'll get put under anesthesia and have 4 artists work on their back,
That's
and they'll
wild.
wake up 8 hours later with a full back piece.
That's wild.
I would love that. And people are like, that's fucking cheating. I'm like, let me cheat. I would love to cheat.
I just don't understand that because like if you
What part don't you understand?
It's a performative thing, art, right? So like you could either be on, you could be off that day. At the end of the day, when I get a tattoo, it's because I want to have something that like is what I wanted it to be from the get-go, right? So like you have to be perfect already. Like I don't know, dude. It's just
So wait, are you pro or anti in this? in what you're
numbing
saying?
cream every time.
Yeah,
Like
you
to
want the
earn
best
it
piece of art.
means nothing.
You
like,
want the best piece of art.
let's say I want to get a picture of my mother, right? To like commemorate her.
Yeah. You
and
wanna
like
be
you're gonna
shaking
be
and
like
twitching the whole time?
You numbing cream? Are you a pussy?
Yeah.
No, I'd rather
Earn
have a
it.
fucking zigzag like picture of my fucking mother on my arm. Are
Earn
you
it
fucking
and make it
kidding
look
me?
like she had a stroke at some
looking
point.
like you did the shit in an earthquake. I think the
Yeah.
point is the art. Like we're doing
Right.
it for the art.
That's how I
The
feel.
Fucking
the point
journey?
isn't the masochism. Like I understand that too. Like the people who are like, tattoo therapy, which by the way kills me. And also I've hated on the people who say tattoo therapy for so long. And then I saw like a time hop of like my Facebook, and I said it. It's like one of these things where it's like, oh Christ, I did that. But I guess because I did it and then moved past it, I'm like, everyone should be But like, and that may be your therapy. That's fine. It's just like, as someone who goes to therapy, I'm just like, people who are like shopping therapy or this therapy or that therapy.
Yeah.
It's like, it's cutesy, but like, go to therapy. You know what I mean? Have you been to therapy?
No.
Oh, that's your
Well,
problem.
I've been to couples therapy, but not like for just me.
You and your personality, other personality.
Yeah.
How did that work out? Couples therapy.
I don't know.
I've never been to couples therapy, but I'm a fan. I believe in it.
Yeah, people say it's like once you're in couples therapy, it's like the last step. Like
So
you're basically done.
I also say that like you're allowed to go to couples therapy when everything's going great.
That's what I think people should do.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So people don't get that too. So they're like, why would we go to, we don't, because people think it's like a sign of something horrific. Same with individual therapy. They're like, I'm fine.
Right.
It's okay to be okay. Going to therapy doesn't mean you're broken.
Right.
It just means you're trying to get better, right? Or evolve in some way, whatever small way that may be. But like couples therapy, you can go to right away. And really like, not that you don't know how to communicate, but they can help you communicate more effectively.
Yes.
Did you find that? Like, how long did you go?
Yes.
Like, was it a last-ditch effort for something?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, which normally it is. I mean, that's common.
Yes, and I think that's the mistake. It's like, I don't know,
Same.
people are kind of communicating and working out, their wants and needs from the beginning. I feel like it's less, I guess, I don't know, drastic of a trying to change.
Right, and urgently trying to change it.
Yeah.
And also, so the thing about people's wants and needs that I think is not recognized is that, like, people don't even know their wants and needs, I mean, there's like, so when they do like, statistical surveys about things, there's things that people answer. Like I just recently listened to like this thing about like, people who have affairs, why people, why different genders cheat and like what they say on this. And it's like, there's an answer that they give that they want to be the answer. And then there's like for instance, when you ask people, what do they look for in a mate, right? Mm-hmm. They can answer a certain way, but when you look at their track record, they're not doing that. Uh-huh. You know what I mean? So it's like, sometimes people answer in the way that they want to be, it's like, no one is like, because no one wants to be shallow or no one wants to be this, no one wants to be that. But it's like, my point is sometimes you don't even know your exact wants and needs because like, maybe you've been programmed to like think that they're incorrect or like rude or not. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes you don't even know your own shit is my point.
For sure.
I believe that's possible. I personally cannot relate to that. Like one
set thing you want.
I know.
That's it? Or
what's that?
You have like one set thing that you want?
I mean, it's not one thing, but I know my wants and needs.
Okay.
Like I feel like I know myself very well. Needs,
I get it. Wants are weird. Like you want what you can't have. We all, I don't know. Wants are a funny thing.
Wants are not the move.
But I look at it like movies. Like sometimes I'm in the mood for a horror movie. Sometimes I'm in the mood for a comedy. And like when it comes to people, like you could argue the same thing. Like some days I need this. Some days I need that. I don't understand picking one person for the rest of your life, but that's another, that's another conversation altogether. But yeah, I mean, it's all flavors. Like and then moods. I don't know, vibes, whatever the words are. Sorry.
Don't be sorry. So you're an anime chick.
Yeah. Well, no.
You are.
No.
You are.
Labels on
you
it.
are.
I feel like that deduces me to just that.
Okay, no.
And lots of things.
No, for sure.
Yeah, you're a podcast guy.
Yeah, no, I am. Turns out I'm a podcast guy, which is basically like someone who runs his mouth and thinks he's more important than he is. So it's like, check. So you went to Japan?
I did.
Because of your love for anime?
Because of a music
your love for
festival.
the culture? Oh.
Yeah, I wanted to go. But then it turned out that my favorite artist of all time, Bjork, was headlining the Fuji Rock Festival in Niigata.
Do you know about Bjork?
Bjork is your favorite artist of all time?
She's my favorite artist of all time.
The Icelandic queen? Iceland?
Triple
correct?
Scorpio.
I'm saying words. I'm going to make sure I'm saying.
Do you know about her?
You don't?
So honestly, like I've heard the name a billion times. But no, like I don't know anything about Bjork.
Like I can't sit here and name one of her songs,
right?
But like I don't know,
interesting
dude.
To me. I know. Look, to you that kills you, but it's like that is the general consensus. I know. But like, and you put me on, right? So like, my thing is like, and I think you put me on to video songs, which was helpful.
Yes. I feel like the first one I sent you was Pagan Poetry, which I would recommend everyone.
A video and a song.
Yes.
Pagan Poetry, the music video for that.
Yes.
And that one
Not
hit me.
safe for work.
And that one did hit me.
Yeah.
And because I'm also like, you know, a judgmental, shallow cunt, right? So I'm like, fucking Bjork, you know? I don't give, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not my style also. It's just like,
right.
But then like, yeah, it hit me. It's like, it feels, God, I hate to sound pretentious, but it's like, and I'm not a huge Bjork guy, but it feels more like art than most music I hear. Does that make sense?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. My favorite type of music is like music that like makes me physically ill, kind of. Like I feel it in my stomach, like it twists.
I like sad country in that way.
Yeah, that like when you listen to something and it kind of almost makes you angry or like disturbed by how beautiful it is. Like y'all didn't have to do all this. Like it would have been good with half of this shit.
Yes.
Who decided to put X, Y, and Z in here?
And honestly, my favorite thing about art, or one of my favorite things about art, is it's unnecessary.
Yes.
Like in its nature, you know? Like I love that art is unnecessary because in Western society, like everything's so efficient.
Yeah.
Our buildings are boring. Like our architecture, I mean everything, right? Everything.
Some of them.
No, of course, but you know what I mean.
Mid-century popped off. I'm gonna say that.
Well, of course. I just mean now, right?
Yes,
Everything is like, you know. I remember in Thailand, like they had, like on the fucking pilings in between the highway, they had like gold elephants on the little pilings, and it's like, I loved it because they didn't need to do it.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things with art where you go, you didn't need to do that. Or when you see art going across a bridge, you know, where even on the way to DC, there's just certain like art exhibits where you go, they didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
You know? So I love that about it.
I think when it comes to music, like what I'm saying is like, oh, you didn't need to do that. It's like this song was already fire. Like it was already fire before you fucking added the bass or before you put this little chime in there or whatever. It's like, and each little addition just like, I don't know, it fucks me up. It's like, oh my God, like I would have been happy with half of this if I were making this song, and y'all just kept adding, and it's just like that shit goes crazy. I have a tattoo about it on my shoulder.
What is it?
Deftones is my favorite band of all time, and the song Minerva. I'm not gonna say it. Well, I don't want people to steal my tattoo, but it's an ode to music.
I was gonna steal it. Trust me.
There's a line in the song where.
Wait, is it a Def Jam thing or a Bjork thing?
Deftones.
Deftones, my bad.
Bjork?
I said a Def Jam comedy.
I'm crying.
I've never taken
Bjork was
the
my
time.
first tattoo.
I know Deftones is amazing. Like I don't know,
so
especially
fucking good.
I think they were before my time. Like I was into the emo scene or whatever. Like I went to high school from 03 to 06. So like I heard Change. I remember like it was on like Little Nicky and it was like out on the radio.
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
literally that's all I know. I know that like a lot of artists respect that fucking group. Like a lot.
So Destinee is an artist.
Whoa, hold on.
Like, and I've told you that. I feel like the way you're so intriguing to me because of like your lens, really, right? And I've told you that, like, so like your lens to me, like, you know, you shared things with me or things that you've written or things that you know, whatever have happened. It's like the way that you, and we talked about this recently because I'm like, do you see it that way, or is it you're re-looking at it and writing it that is that way, you know? Because I'm like jealous of it, you know what I mean? And you know, not in a way that I'm like, you know, but it's like I just like I see things so matter-of-factly, right?
Yeah.
I see things so, you know, okay, this happened, and it's not that you're like overly emotionally sentimental, which some people are. Do you know what I mean? Like where it's like things have such a heavy meaning, but you don't do that. You're just like the way that you're. Yeah, it pissed me off. Remember when I was so mad when you told me you didn't go to college?
Oh.
I was so mad because she's so much smarter than me. And then when she'll say things, we were talking for a while, and I'm like, so like, you know, where did you go to college, you know? And she's like, oh, I haven't been to college. And it's just like, why do you know so much? And why didn't you go to college? What was your deal out of high school? Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Longreach.
Where the fuck is that?
It's in Howard County.
Hoko.
Yeah, and then I went to Howard for my last 2 years. I just really enjoy learning. So college is a scam. First off, like if
you're an autodidact, is that what they call it?
Autodidact.
Isn't that a thing?
I don't know.
Damn, I'm smarter than her.
That's
Count it. Hey, put the word of the day. Autodidact. Unless I made it up, then don't put it up. I think it's someone who's self-taught.
Oh, Well, then, yeah. I just enjoy absorbing information. And what I want to do or wanted to do with my life did not require a formal like degree to do it. I think college is worth it if like, you know, you want to be a fucking doctor or lawyer or whatever. But for me personally, it just seemed like a waste of time and money.
I think for that, so like, I totally understand that point, and like not as a counterpoint, but like, you know, as something to think about. Like, I feel like most people aren't as curious as you, therefore like the discipline to be curious or like to actually learn it isn't there. Like, so I feel like college, well, it can help you for a lot of things. You know, there's all kinds of good shit. But,
Yeah.
And a lot of people talk about the bad stuff now because people, you know, it's like pretty common to be like, you know, fuck the institutions and shit like that. But,
Yeah.
and which is understandable for sure, especially, understandable for a lot of reasons. But I feel like I am not disciplined enough to like learn the way that you have or do. And then I feel like I'm also like, I don't retain, you know, as much as you do. Were you always good at school?
So I was always good at school for the first semester. Like as a young adult, I went in there, I would do all the tests, or I always did the tests. Did great on tests, except for math. I'm terrible at math. But I would attend, I would participate, I would ask good questions. Like I got A's and B's for the first semester. And then after that, I just fell off. Because it's so stupid. But for me, it was like,
Were you bored?
No, I still would go and I would still like absorb information and love it. But I just didn't want to do shit outside of school. Like you tell me to do an assignment when I'm not in the fucking school, I'm not fucking doing that shit.
What were you up to?
But bullshit.
Anything?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, whatever.
But I wanted to do good. I wanted to do well for the first semester just so that my teachers knew that I wasn't fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would just be like, just so you know, I'm choosing now to not give a fuck about shit.
Yeah, I could do it, just so you know.
Yeah, I've been sat down so many times by my teachers like, what happened? Like, you were just amazing, blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
You're like, first of all, I still am, bitch.
Yeah, it's just like I didn't feel the need to like, I don't know.
Did you feel like it was like, so it wasn't that it was boring you, like you were still interested in it, but you were just like, why do
always
I have to prove
interested.
myself? Okay.
Always interested.
I felt like, so for me, I've learned way more out of school than I have in school.
Yeah.
Probably because I'm like of my like oppositional defiance disorder, you know?
Yeah.
Or, like the fact that like you tell me to learn it and I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm not learning this shit.
Yeah.
And then when I find something interesting, I'm like, oh, let me read about, you know, Harikiri.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm naturally curious about everything, but I think that my early education really like solidified it. I went to private school and
you did?
Yeah.
Damn, same. Squad. Hey. Catholic? Wow. See, most private schools like are owned by the religions, you know?
Yeah.
Which is wild that you can't just like send your kid to a private school, you know, because you got bread. It's got to be like, well, no, they have to be indoctrinated.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
That is wild.
School choice needs to
be. So how long did you do private school?
Elementary? I was there from pre-K to 5th grade, and
I did kindergarten to 8th.
Mm.
Did you get molested there?
Impressive. No.
Yeah, same. I was molested just outside of school, for the record. But do you feel like that so why did you stop going to the private school?
My parents got divorced, and I think it was just too maybe expensive.
Yeah, probably
logistically. Yeah.
Are your parents still divorced?
Yeah.
They didn't just get back together?
No. So my mom's dead. My dad's still alive. He moved.
How'd your mom die?
It was like this. Okay, it was complicated. She had pneumonia, but she was also taking like very high strength ibuprofen for arthritis, which killed her kidneys. So she was basically like,
that's so crazy about medicine.
Yes. So
like, take this to help this thing. Also, your organs will fail.
Right. So she had renal failure. So like for a while.
Because she must have been taking that ibuprofen for years.
For years.
It wasn't like a one-time thing or like an acute symptom.
Correct. Yeah. But when she got pneumonia, it was like because her kidneys were
her body was so weak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pneumonia's a killer. Pneumonia's a big killer.
Yes.
Like my dad had lung cancer and like, you know, or the people even with COVID, right? You know, they end up getting pneumonia in the lungs, and that's what does them in.
Yeah.
It's like,
it sucks.
How old was she?
58.
How old were you?
I think I was like 29 or wait. I can't do math, yo.
Were you closer to your mom or dad? Who'd you live with?
I lived with my mom most of the time. Me and my dad are kind of like the same person, so I feel like I kind of like identify or understand.
Do you have any
him.
siblings?
I have a younger precious baby sister.
Precious baby sister.
Yes, I love her.
What's her name?
Ariel.
Shout out Ariel.
Yeah,
so
she's incredible.
So you were living with your mom most of the time.
Yeah.
You and Ariel.
Yes.
And then were you living with her when she got sick and everything?
No, I was already married.
So she just had arthritis?
Well, yeah. And it's like instead of like trying to maybe figure out how to get the inflammation down or whatever, it's like just take this to make the pain go away. Which I always had a problem with. I'm just like, can we not try to like address the root cause, or
it's never root cause. Yeah. It's Band-Aid on top of Band-Aid.
Yeah. It sucks.
That's our medical system.
Yeah.
That's rough, huh? Losing a parent.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
How old did you say you were?
I think I was 28 or 29. Yeah.
Now, did you know it was going to happen?
Well, there was like a week.
Okay, that's what I was curious about.
It was like a week from my sister calling me and being like, hey, she's not breathing well. We're going to the hospital. To it being like, okay, she's gone. And it was crazy because like the night before, I went to this like supper club party thing.
Supper club?
Yeah.
The fact that you just said supper is crazy. I haven't heard supper in for so long.
Yeah.
So like you guys would go have dinner?
Local chefs. Yeah. So
okay.
We were, well, I still know and am friends with a couple chefs in Ellicott City where I used to live. And we went to this one dinner. It was late night in July. And my mom was in the hospital. We'd already bought the tickets and we're like, okay, we're going. And it was like the best time. It was so fun. Everything was delicious. I got to talk with everybody. My friend Hatsumi, she's from Japan. Like she owns a little cafe like right around the corner. Like it was so great. It was nice. It was a nice break from everything that was going on. And then the next morning, my mom died. And that night was like the last like perfect, or that whole day and night was like the last perfect day, you know? Like,
what do you mean?
Once you lose somebody that's like really close to you, you can have like really, really good days. You can have amazing days, but you'll never have like another perfect day again. You'll never be sheltered or like
talk that shit.
It's kind of like
it's just different.
It's different.
It can still feel perfect for the time being.
Yes,
but it's not. It's not.
Something's
the same.
off. It's kind of like it's kind of like always needing a jacket. Like you're comfortable, but like you could use a jacket. Like something's a little off. Like right. I wish I had this thing.
Not this thing where it's like I'm crippled by the, it's terrible.
Yeah,
everything's
no.
terrible. But just that, things aren't perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's an interesting thing. That's an interesting point. Just about like losing a loved one that I haven't really thought about. Like, I remember like making this Facebook post one time years after my dad died where I wrote like, I'm thinking about my dad a lot, like, and I remember writing and articulating this thing because it would frustrate me when people would say, there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about you. That would frustrate me because there was days that went by that I didn't think about my dad, right? And it's like, well, I know I'm not a bad son.
Right.
I know I wasn't a bad dad. And so I'm like, there are days that go by that I don't actively think about my father.
Right.
However, everything I do has my dad in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he lives on through me in a way that's like every single decision I make is slightly informed by like who my father was. So it's like, but it does, the point is like everything does shift. It's not the exact same. And it's interesting to put it like that. It's like, it might not even be here in the conscious of your mind, right? It's not in your frontal lobe.
Yeah, no.
Like,
No.
You're not like, oh, this is fun, but damn, my mom's dead. You know what I mean? It's just like you said though, there's a little something like I could use a jacket.
Yeah. Yeah. Even if you don't like you don't even realize it half the time. It's just like,
Literally, what you just described is the reason why I can't get on board with the idea of heaven. Because, like, let's say you go to heaven. You've been in heaven for a long time. You're waiting for, let's pretend it's a particular friend. They don't show up. 100 years go by and you realize, fuck, dude, they're not coming here. They're going to hell. So now I've got to sit here and be in heaven for the rest of my life, knowing someone I loved is in hell.
Well, you know how I know all my friends. You know how I know all my friends will be there. All those go to heaven. You're
nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't subscribe to that concept either. I don't think you keep your ego when your body dies.
Oh,
like,
see, there.
The idea of like me still being me without my body.
Good point.
Well,
Dumb human thought for me.
Let's talk about me. The idea of me.
Yeah.
Right? Do you think there is a self?
Yeah. I think
because so here's the thing with the word self that I've been very recently coming to like grips with. People use it so differently, right? And we've talked about the I don't know how to say the word, but the Dzogen or whatever, you know, the James Lowe, like the idea that like the self is not a static thing, right? It's constantly co-emerging with its environment, right? Because who am I, right? Well, who I am depends on whether I've been fed, whether I'm well rested, whether my mom just died, right? Like, it depends.
Right.
You're not like, oh, I'm this thing. Here's the ideal thing, right? Here's who I want to be.
Right.
But there is no actual thing, right? But the self with the capital S is the thing I learned about in IFS, like the internal family system shit, where it's like, there's all these different parts of us, you know, because parts work. And I really love the framing of that, whether it's like, technically true or not, I don't give a fuck, you know what I mean? But like it does feel like everything I'm learning in IFS does feel to be intuitively true. Now I know that can be trickery as well because it's intuitive, but it's like it does feel to be everything that they're saying checks out as far as like there's these different parts of me, and it helps to kind of disconnect from it, to go like, it's not that I feel this way, a part of me feels this way, and it feels more accurate because I'm coexisting in so many different parts, you know? So I just feel like the self, and sometimes people will put a capital S for self, and it's like when certain Buddhism traditions, you know, which I know you're not a Buddhist, but you know, you're hip about Buddhism, which is, I feel like anyone well informed about self-work and progress will be a little bit informed about Buddhism. It'd be kind of silly to not be. It's one of those things that's held up for so long. And it's like they spent so much time working on it. And there are things that, what I love about it is it's so hard to dismantle it, which doesn't make it true. You know what I mean? But like, as you know, the way my mind works is like, I want to dismantle things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to test things and see and build up these buildings and then try to break them down. And then, oh, well, this keeps holding up. And it's like, it's very interesting how IFS and Buddhism and like a lot of different things that have this Venn diagram, it just makes me feel good because it's like, it's not like I learned something and I'm like, wow, that seems legit. And then I hear something else and I'm like, well, that's all torn down. It's like a lot of things are the same thing, but the idea of the self, some people say the self is fully egoic, right? Because it's like your perception of what you are, which isn't actually static and is only like your projection of what you are. But I heard someone recently, and I'm not sure if I shared this with you, but like that lady had said, so a big thing in IFS is to be compassionately curious. So there's like certain C words that go with the capital S self, but compassionate and curiosity are part of them, and compassion and curiosity. And it's like, so when something comes up or a thought comes up or a suffering comes up or something comes up that I feel dysregulated or whatever, instead of shaming the part or guilting that part or feeling bad about it, to be compassionately curious, genuinely compassionately curious about it, rather than being like, why the fuck am I, getting frustrated or whatever. It's like to be compassionately curious, which I've heard about plenty for years. And then I've recently heard on this podcast, this lady say to follow the compassion to its source. Did I tell you about this?
Yes.
So I don't know. There's something so interesting to me about that. It's like something comes up for you. You become compassionately curious about it. Where is this coming from? Why are you feeling this way, this part? And then seeing that part and actually seeing the part and it being heard and seen is like a big part of it, which again sounds woo-woo to me. For me, right? For me, it's just like, oh, that's woo-woo. But I've been doing it and it's been kind of like helping. But she had said follow the compassion to its source, which I liked so much because it's like, well, her argument anyway is that it doesn't, there's this infinite well of compassion at your core that you didn't put there, right? Which is like, and that's pretty magical to me, right? It's like as far as closest to magical I can get. It's like, well, I didn't choose to have a compassionate core, right? It's like, but when you can look at it from that, and I'm not sure that everyone has one, right? But it's like, according to her, she's like, if you get rid of all the other shit, all the fear, all the anxiety, all the whatever, all the stories, all the narratives, you can genuinely forget just being compassionately curious. That's a part of it. But then if you can follow that compassion to its core, that's like this never ending well of compassion. And then she's like, if you're suffering and then you can hold that suffering with genuine compassion, it's no longer suffering. I'm like, God damn. So, but you do think there's a self? Yes.
I think the self is essentially like a collection of memories.
So do you believe in like the collective conscious, like Carl Jung would say? Like there's this like there, well, because you kind of do. So like you've talked to me about subconscious and your ideas about it, and it does kind of speak to Carl Jung's idea of the collective unconscious or collective conscious, where it's like everyone is connected, and these thoughts like that we aren't responsible for. So you and I went into like, free will and whether it's a real thing and all this stuff, which is like too deep to get into, and we're not,
I'm here for it.
Right. Well, I'm not smart enough to articulate it, but like I can hear about it. And basically the argument is like, if you had this exact same brain as this other person and the exact same experiences, you'd be the exact same way. Right. Which helps empathy.
Yeah.
It helps empathy. For like, a serial killer, a this, a that. You just go like, look, this person has this brain and has had whatever experiences he had,
right,
and whatever DNA he has and whatever, and they did this thing, right? And it's not that. So so two things come up with people with the no free will thing, and I get it because it's like it feels like a lack of autonomy, right? Because you go, oh, so I'm not in charge? Well, then fuck that. I don't believe in it, right? And that's one. And then two is personal responsibility. Well, it's like, well, how can we hold him accountable? It's just his brain and his experiences. It's like, however, if that brain and experiences have harmed someone else, then they should be held accountable. So it's like people think it's one or the other.
You can hold them accountable based on like the law of the land. If you break a law, it doesn't matter whether, you had a terrible experience as a child or, you were poor or whatever. It's like you broke the law.
Yeah.
That's like just a system, like a process. If you respect the process
that we've agreed on.
Yeah. Then that's the thing. And I don't know what to tell you. Like,
so you do think the self exists?
Yes.
Do you think it's compassionate? Like, that's what I'm curious about.
I think it's everything. So you talked about empathy, right? About like how I feel like the easiest way to tap into your empathy is to realize that there is literally no border between you and anyone else, between you and anything else.
There's that quote that's like, nothing that is human is alien to me, which is fire. Because it's like anything that another human being does is like, I get it. Nothing
that's
that
beautiful.
Is, yeah. Nothing that is, I forget who said it. I wish I could give it credit. And
that's how I feel. Like, I haven't been shocked in years. Like, I've seen terrible things. I've heard terrible things. People have said like outlandish things to me. Like, I'm just here for
She's
it.
Talking about me.
I had a conversation like last night. Like, somebody was spouting off what society would consider like some wild, like, I don't even want to get into it, but like, I don't know. I'm not in the business of judging people.
Same. Because and I think that's like, I think that as a society, we do it, right? And no one says the bad things, right? No parents. You know how many parents I've had say to me directly when it's just me and them? I've thought about like killing my kid, not like actually killing them, but like, and this is what I've heard genuinely multiple times. I would never hurt my kid. I love my child more than anything. But like, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, not saying I do it, but I get it.
Yeah.
Or like the I've had a dream of it, my dad fucking me, right? It's like there's these certain things that other people would, and the best thing that you can do to someone when they tell you something outlandish, right, is to not have that reaction.
Yeah.
Is to just go like, yeah. And it's also like, it would be weird for you to not have the thought like, damn, maybe I'm not built for this life, or maybe like, and yeah, well, I guess I'm going into multiple different things here, but like, there's so many things that like seem outlandish out loud but aren't, you know?
People that care about how other people see them won't admit that they have those thoughts. Like, everyone has those thoughts,
right?
Like
and
they're just thoughts.
And to go into the idea of like is to not being attached to the thought, right?
Yeah,
it's the whole thing is like to see him come and go like clouds, and then also like the book I just got, there's no bad parts. Don't judge that part, because then this part comes up where you go like, fuck, I want to fucking throw this kid against a wall. And then you start shaming yourself for that. So then there's this vicious loop of like shame and guilt. And then shame and guilt keeps people sick. Like
yes.
I don't know how true this is, but I've heard like guilt is like, I did this thing and I feel like I could have done better, so I'm guilty about it. Shame is I'm a bad person. Mm-hmm. Not I've done the bad thing, because I've done the bad thing could be guilt. Mm-hmm. Shame is I'm a bad person, right? And it's like, I don't think there's any place for shame. And shame keeps addicts in addiction. Shame is like so bad for the soul. Shame is just terrible. Yeah. And it's like, if everyone was fully honest, there'd be so much less shame. You know what I mean? Because it's like, people are so quick to throw stones when they haven't been caught, doing their shit.
Yeah.
And it's like,
true.
People are fucked.
Everyone's
We're people.
Fucked.
Yep.
Everyone's fucked.
That's the truth.
And that goes back into like not judging people. Like, okay, you may have this problem, but I got my own problems too. And at the end of the day, I subscribe to the belief that like that's me too. Like I can easily understand how that could be me, or on some level that is literally me. Like, we all come from the same place.
It's like the concentration camps, right?
Yeah.
So like everyone thinks
World War II.
Yeah, I know you're obsessed with Hitler. She's big pro Hitler.
I'm obsessed with World War II.
She's very pro Hitler.
Actually, I am obsessed with Hitler too.
Yeah.
His
it's
story
not
is
so
crazy.
much that you're pro Hitler, you're more anti-Jew. No, but the thing is with the concentration camps is like a lot. It's so easy to do the thought experiment as a Jew, right?
Yeah.
Most people, when they think back, they just like, oh my God, empathy for the Jewish people. And it's like, duh. Of course. I'm not saying don't have that.
Right.
That's just the most obvious one.
Right.
But you should have the same empathy for the people doing it. Because it's like, do you think there's that many evil people? Or do you think that there was something else going on psychologically?
Right.
It's like all of the Nazis were evil. Every one of them.
Right.
All the hundreds of thousands of them. Where it's like, it wasn't just Hitler that was evil. It's everyone who did that. And it's like, you have to, I've heard someone say like, it's when you do that thought experiment, you're the Jew and the Nazi.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
you could, like you said, you can see yourself in both of them. And to not is like, it's just rose-colored glasses.
It's true.
Of course you wouldn't do it. Of course you would have been the one that spoke up. You would have been would have been the one Nazi with the backbone. Right.
Like, we're literally doing that right now, and I hate how we apply current moral standards to
oh my
the past.
God, that is so frustrating. Even 10 years ago. Even seeing a show 10 years ago.
Yes, 100%. You can't
they're
get away with shit.
This, they're this, that. Yes. I mean, it's like it's almost jarring to listen to
we're not
now.
even thinking about how like we're gonna be viewed through that lens decades from now.
Oh yeah.
Like the shit that we're doing now, whatever it is, whether it's fucking
trannies.
Yeah, for sure. No. Transitioning children that aren't, their brains aren't fully developed.
How do you feel about that? Let's get into some spicy shit.
Fuck.
Okay. I do not care what anyone does with their body. I don't care. I don't think that the government should be involved in it either way. But there would be trepidation for me, or there is, because I feel like instead of
like fear. Sorry, the retards.
Instead of focusing on the children that exhibit those types of behaviors, where they could be legitimately feeling like they're in the wrong body, we're now just presenting this as an idea to all the children.
Right.
Like, hey, did you know that you can change if you want to? And I think that's very confusing for young people, for anyone
who's going through puberty and like being anti. Because people like, so one of the jokes I've heard is like, trans is the new goth.
Yes.
Which again is not the exact thing, but it's like, fuck my parents, fuck the system.
Yes.
Fuck,
Yes. And we all have that rebellious stage. I had a tomboy stage. If someone had come up to me in that moment and said, hey, you could be a boy if you want to. Yeah,
you might have been a boy just born in the wrong body. Yeah.
I could have fucking transitioned. And that would have been the worst decision of my life. But I also have had 2 experiences where I've watched a child not actually be born, but I've seen a baby. Once it started walking, I was like, that little bitch is gay. I've had it happen twice. I knew immediately. I knew it.
Dude, we all have done that.
If that was my kid and they're able to articulate their feelings when they start speaking and it's like, I want to be a boy, I don't know if I would hinder them from taking that journey based on what they're exhibiting. But either way, I don't think the government should say you have to if your child displays this, or you cannot because this child is under a certain age. That's between the parents and the doctors.
I think a big thing of the discussion is like the schooling, right? Where it's like in school, it's like, and here's the thing, it's like it's easy to be like, well, yeah, no, you can't just do that without they're giving kids hormones without their parents' permission, yada yada. But it's like you do have to understand like the other side of it. So it's so easy to be like, well, yeah, one of the obvious surface level arguments is like we don't let kids get tattoos till they're 18.
It's true.
Because it's a permanent decision.
It's true.
So like you're talking about changing your biological hormones. So it's like, but at the same time, it's like you have to understand people who like are born by like conservative Christian parents who they can't literally talk to about that. And they are those people who are genuinely born. And that's the problem with it. It's like it's so nuanced. It's not this broad brush where it's like, well, yeah, no, because people are going to take advantage and people are going to be confused and it's the same thing with welfare, right? People want to point at like the people who like, or abortion, be like, oh, and then this bitch just gets 18 abortions. She just feels like it's like, yeah, of course there's these anomalies. You know what I mean? It's like, people just use it as birth control. It's like, yeah, but who? Like, have you ever? That's what I ask people too. Like, have you seen this? Because people will talk about these problems in the world, and then I'll go like, and now this could be a flaw too. And I'm curious how you feel about this. So like, people will talk to me about like, at work, right? Let's say at my work, some issue, and about how it's a big issue, and then I'll say, have you seen it? Like, and just how often have you seen it? It's like, well, I haven't seen it. And it's like. Now, that could be foolish because it's like, well, just because it's not right in front of me doesn't mean it's not a real problem, you know? But at the same time, it's like the internet and the news makes things problems. It's like they want to make things a problem.
Yes. I think that's like a case-by-case thing because
that's what's tough about it.
Yeah. But like, yeah, they're, you see people fucking burning cities down because, somebody got shot or whatever, or killed. Like, that doesn't affect me directly, but it kind of it's fraying at the fabric of like civil society. Like,
well, protests have always been a part of civil society.
So protests aren't violent.
That's not true.
No.
Peaceful protests aren't violent. Protests can get violent.
And I love how people are adding the caveat or adding the peaceful onto the protest. Protests, how we define them.
Who's we?
Americans in the Constitution.
To be fair, you're white, and we've only ever been taught about sit-ins. Like, we don't know anything about actually having to. But anyway, go ahead.
January 6th, brother.
I don't know what that is.
It's when the whites walked on the Capitol. Nah, I'm just kidding, but yeah.
That's wild. Them niggas are still in jail, yo. That's crazy to me. What was I saying? Protests?
So it's interesting that people add the caveat because protests should be peaceful.
Yeah. So once you cross that line into like violent behavior, that's not a protest anymore. That's a riot. That's something else.
Okay. Well, the argument is sometimes people don't listen until you break some windows.
And I totally understand that. Yeah. I'm just saying, don't call it a protest. Don't call it a mostly peaceful or a peaceful protest.
Okay. So let's say we're marching down the street, right? And we're a protest, and then someone breaks a window. Is it now a riot?
I think you can still call it a protest.
Like, it's a nuanced thing.
It doesn't help the situation, and you're pretty much fucking
You're still
everything
protesting
up,
something.
That's
Sure.
the problem with dumb people. You know what I
Sure.
mean? Like,
Sure, but
but yeah,
what
for
our
the people who
fundamental
actually
rights are,
protest,
we
they
have
don't.
the right to free speech and protest.
Well, once you
The
start
idea
breaking
is-
the law,
We don't co-sign that
Right,
shit.
right. The idea is that you have the right to say whatever you want and to protest whatever you want, as long as you don't infringe on someone else's property or body or whatever. That's the way I'm defining a protest.
That's fair.
So,
Yeah.
And I mean, that makes sense. I mean, that's like ideally, yes, right? It's like, protest and don't harm anything. But sometimes no one listens until you start burning cop cars. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm not saying I agree with it or don't. It's just like, obviously it's clear to be like, the establishment in the form of the police have killed someone unjustly to you, right? In that example. And it's like, not the example you prove, but in my head, it's like, it's like usually in my head, a lot of the protests and riots were like, cops killing unarmed black people, right?
Right.
It's like for my lifetime, like the biggest protests I remember, like the Freddie Gray riots
Right.
and, all those things. And it's like, maybe if it's peacefully protested, it doesn't get heard, and it's like, I also like, God damn it gets into a weird spot with like, statistics, right? It's like narratives are the story. Emotions are the story. Like when you look at statistics, the cops just aren't out here killing unarmed people, white or black. They're just not.
Facts.
It's really, really uncommon for that. And then it's like,
facts.
there's bad cops, of course. There's bad doctors, of course. There's bad every profession. There's bad people in it.
Sure. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
I just think that it's silly to to paint with such a broad brush. Now I know there's like qualified immunity and they have each other's back, and I watch videos every single day. Like there is not a day that goes by that I don't watch a body cam video. There is not a day. Like if you guys are into body cam videos, there's I'm sure I've talked about it before, but Police Activity on YouTube is a page where, and I don't even know how this is possible, but like every single officer involved shooting is on Police Activity on YouTube within a couple days. And also it's like they're all wearing body cams, and because of the Freedom of Information Act, it's like every single person who gets arrested is on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so happy that I'm not on YouTube from the times I've been arrested, you know what I mean? Because it's just like, people don't realize it, and even the cops, they'll be talking shit, and it's like you're on camera constantly,
Right.
And it's like, and it's also to have the empathy for the Jewish people and the Nazis, right? It's like, it's the hardest job in the world. We're judging these police officers in these life-threatening situations that are highly stressful, intense, and then from my couch to be like, well, you didn't need to kill him, you didn't need to kill her, or the Sonia Massey. You saw that? The lady with the boiling water? The black lady with the boiling water?
No.
Did you see that?
No, but I'm still back. Let's back up a second.
Back up.
We were still talking about the Nazis, the Jews or whatever, and like what was your fucking thing you just said? Like, yeah, they may have been working for the Germans or whatever, but like you could still see what you're doing and being like, I'm not gonna do this. Just like when draft dodgers dodge a draft, like Germans should have fucking dodged the fucking, I don't know, dude. I don't know how you do it, but you fucking try.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not gonna sit here and like give too much sympathy.
So if you were a Nazi, you would have put your foot down and said, "No, Hitler.
You fucking
no, Hitler.
You run with the Jews. Like you fucking get out. You should do whatever you gotta fucking do.
You run with the Jews, which means goes into.
I don't know what you fucking.
You go
do,
get gassed in the chamber.
Listen, dude, that's not what every fucking Jew did.
I know, but if you're running with them as a Nazi,
listen, dude, like at the end of the
genuinely,
day,
what
a
are
lot
at
of
the
those
end of the
Nazi
day,
soldiers had that choice in the beginning.
You gotta choose for yourself.
They had the choice to leave or to stay.
So,
But
that's that.
Let me rewind though.
It's not that simple though.
No. I'm okay. I know it's not that simple.
I don't mean for you. I just mean for both of you guys. It's not that easy.
All right. I want to talk about the cop thing though.
I don't disagree.
Please, yeah.
I come from a family of police officers.
Yes.
Both of my parents, my godmother, my cousin, my
God, they must love you. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, a bunch of people in my family are police officers.
Fuck.
And I feel like the narrative right now is like if you wear a badge, you're trash. You're
a
the
bad
enemy.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just so
and it's like these
foolish.
people have
you're
families.
Right. That's not right. That's
I
not
remember.
Right.
I remember my parents
and it
would
also
go out
breeds more discontent. It breeds more problems.
But that's the way you stir, and you divide people. Like that's the whole game. Like they're all out here trying to make a good guy and a bad guy. Whether it's
Who's
the
they?
cops, the powers that be.
See,
like
I see.
Listen,
look, I'm gonna tell you right now. If you don't think that divide and conquer is a major strategy to keep us distracted and not realizing that we're all the same and that we all have common interests, like it doesn't matter how we think we should get to a place. At the end of the day, we all think, oh, we would like to go out at night and not get shot. Or we would all like to be able to afford healthcare. Or we would all like to be able to have autonomy over our bodies.
I think that
Whatever
divide
it
and
is.
conquer is a strategy.
Okay.
However, I don't think that also it's like, you know, and again, I'm conspiratorial as fuck, right? It's like
Same.
So when I challenge
all mine come out to be right.
yeah, but here's the thing: when I challenge it, I don't mean that like I just of Occam's razor, like the one with less assumptions is probably true. It's like don't equate to a competence which you can equate, or don't equate malevolence which you can equate to incompetence. Yeah. Right. So it's like while I do agree that divide and conquer is a very powerful and in-use strategy, like some of these videos I see, it's like I don't think those cops were contacted by anybody above them. I don't think that anyone is like there's not some nefarious plan. It's like something's just happened.
No. I agree with that. What I'm saying is when something really bad happens, when it's the perfect thing to put on the news and cycle over and over again and say, see, look, this is what they're doing. That's how.
Do you not just think though, like, so I'm just curious, I wonder how much is curated for division and how much is just like, this is what people are going to view. It's like, because of what people drives them emotionally, they want to look at. So it's like, the more eyes, the better, right? So it's like, let's just get a rise out of these people. Like, I almost feel like it's so capitalistic.
I think it's both.
Yeah.
I think it's both.
Yeah.
Are quotas real?
Quotas?
Yeah.
In some states, I think it varies from state to state and county to county.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But
I
good
doubt
question,
it. I believe they're all for everywhere.
That's a good question.
Just like every business, just like when McDonald's is like, hey, I know you're in the drive-thru and like we're making your food, but like, will you guys pull up there so that we can like, you know, make it seem like our fucking time's better than it is? Like, it's just quotas. Like, this amount of, I don't know. I've already heard it from other fucking Baltimore fucking people. Like like you can be at Mount Vernon, dude.
Did I talk about it on the podcast about that?
Maybe
about
not.
The pulling up. So like, you know, when you pull up to the McDonald's, you know, you pull up to a drive-through window.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and they'll say, hey, can you pull over to this spot?
Mm-hmm.
My buddy Eddie, which I did tell him.
I've been saying this for years. He got it from me.
I just heard it from him. You know what I mean? But yeah, so it's like,
whether he knows it or not.
Yeah, well, it's just like he was just like, say no, and it blew my mind. You know, I'm just such a people pleaser, and I'm such a like, okay, you know, it's not a huge deal to me. I don't care if it's another extra minute, but it's like, if you go up to the window and they go, hey, can you pull over to that spot? You can just be like, no. And it blew my mind that we had that power, and I'm like, oh my god! So I did it finally, and it felt so goddamn good.
Let me back up.
Oh my god!
I didn't realize that's.
I could never.
Obviously, you can say that.
It seems just completely unnecessary for me.
But,
she
saw
when
the
you
movie
have to
go
waiting.
sit in the parking spot, and then they wait until they get to 3 people next to use orders before they walk out. Now you're there for 7 minutes, and you have to be to a side job in 5.
I'm not trying to move to make nobody's life more difficult than it needs to be.
You've seen Waiting, right?
Huh?
You've seen Waiting?
A long time ago, yeah.
You don't fuck with people who fuck with your food.
I'm not fucking
that.
with them.
Yes, and that too.
Doesn't matter what you say. You don't say nothing to those people.
See,
but
no.
Yes,
see, I can't never.
Yes, sir.
Nothing.
No, sir. Thank you. Don't spit in my food, please.
Yeah,
yes.
No, yeah.
Honestly, that's one way to look at it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I agree.
But that's not how I look at it. But what I'm saying is like, you know,
because then it just puts you're forever in a position below them where it's like, yeah, whatever you guys say. You know?
That's probably fair.
And sometimes I'm in a hurry. Sometimes Dad's in a hurry.
I wasn't telling Eddie may have told you not to fucking. I told Eddie that listen, like this shit is all about them telling the fucking
numbers at the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about,
that's the only
about
thing
how long
I'm
you're at the
I
window.
said first.
So it's like, well,
why are you worried about your position?
I'm worried about trying
if you're
to get
a GM,
you said it's like you're being put in a position.
You're
below
a general manager. You want to become a regional manager.
What he's talking about was like yes sir, no sir, no matter what, because they're serving the food. That would put me in a position below them. I don't care about the position below them. I care about the time.
First of all, Justin,
Genuinely.
we're all people.
When he's saying,
there's no one's above anyone.
I know. I'm just saying that when you're like they're in charge of your
up.
food, so you can't say shit to them. No, I agree. No, no.
If we were all rich, who would clean up the trash?
I hear you.
I don't.
Shout out to the blue collar, yo.
So why do you love Hitler? Let's talk about that.
Listen, say what you will about that man. He was organized.
Look,
she'll tell
just
you
kidding.
plenty.
I'm kidding.
I love thinking about. I love history
And psychology.
Yeah.
Things that like should never have fucking happened, and it's not like. There's something fascinating
Let
about
her talk.
Sorry,
because she might think it should have happened. She's
No.
crazy. Listen. I'll be talking about my I'll get on my I'm not gonna straw man your point. I'm gonna steel man it, but so I'll be on my hippy dippy flying war's bad always, and she's just like, but you gotta war, you have to war. It's like, remember we had that talk.
Yes.
It was and I do agree. It's like, I enjoy our disagreements so much because they don't get hateful, right? They're just like,
right.
And I've some people I won't concede to, probably because I think I'm right, not because I'm like I'm not going to concede to this person. You know what I mean? It's not like an ego thing. I don't think it's not a conscious ego thing. But when you and I disagree, you are, and I've told you this. You're so good at presenting a counter argument that isn't like you're a fucking idiot asshole. You're genuinely, you're very good at you've said things to me where I go I'll hear it and I go, all right. You know what I mean? Which is so rare for me to do, right? Because it's one time, and here's the thing too, I like to, I like to say out loud that I don't identify with the position, but once, and that's easy for me to do in regular conversation, but when things start to get a little contentious or heated or whatever, for whatever reason my ego latches onto the position, and you attack that, you're attacking my survival type shit, not consciously, right? But you're able to say things to me where I go, let's talk about the politics. So because you were like, I've been listening to the podcast and you think I should vote or some shit. You're like, politics work or something. What were you saying? What dumb shit were you saying? What retarded ass shit were you saying about politics?
My only argument was that because you've been checked out so long, which you have admitted.
Yes. I don't deny that. Super checked out. Never been checked in, really. Truly.
Okay. And that's totally fine.
Yeah.
But because of that, I feel like you're not seeing the whole picture of what's going on.
Oh, you think they're telling you the whole picture? That's adorable.
That's
okay, not the whole picture.
Because
okay, no.
But that is my
You're right.
You're
right.
Is
it's
my
not
argument.
The whole picture. No one has the whole picture.
But you made a good argument back, and I don't remember what it was, but so do it.
No one has the whole picture. I don't even know.
Of course not.
I don't even know what my argument that I made was, but in general, I think everyone can kind of.
I don't either. God damn it! It was so good because it was like you hit me with something that I was like, you know what? At that level, I get it, right? Because it's like there is different levels.
Yeah.
And it's like, while it's like, I'm trying to regurgitate your argument, but I couldn't remember it either. But it was basically because I'm like, my argument, and I've heard someone else say this and it kills me, but it's like, my argument is the coward's argument. I don't have a strong enough opinion to be like, so I'm just like, I don't believe in it.
Yeah.
And that's not what I consciously think. I think it's all bullshit. Why would I partake, right? So, but it's like, all right, let's just say the president is in charge of 5%, or his party is in, whatever side is in charge of even 5%, right? And if that 5% does affect society, shouldn't I vote accordingly? You know what I mean? Was that kind of your argument or no?
I mean, that's part of my argument.
But I'm just saying, does that resonate?
Yeah.
Whether that was your argument or not. It's like,
so I think
because you're a voter.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I'm not. So
have you ever voted? Have you ever voted?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe in it.
You've just never, period. Then we're in the same boat. I assumed you would vote at least one time.
No,
I was going to vote for Obama, but I got lazy. I just didn't do it. But I was gonna.
Didn't matter.
But I didn't. I mean, no.
Guess what? Didn't matter.
Dude.
Hey, every time you voted, guess what? Didn't matter. Hey, if voting worked, they wouldn't let us do it.
The thing is, like, it's just
That's
weird
not true.
the electoral college is weird. Like, you could have the most votes in a state and lose to the electoral college, so now you're
Talk about it.
that's
Is
it's
amazing.
a scam.
The
It's a
electoral
scam.
Amazing.
The electoral
Talk about
college
it.
is amazing. Most of the population is concentrated on both of the coasts, right?
Sure, okay.
And what do we know about East Coast, West Coast? Very progressive, very liberal,
We have
Marxist,
things
whatever you
to
want
do
to
because
say.
we have an ocean near us.
Sure.
We're important. We're
But
not
they
like
don't-
those middle mother.
But they don't grow food.
No,
They don't
We
build
get tobacco
things. They
somewhere.
don't assemble things.
probably not. We
If
have
those
we have
people-
Amazon.
If those people on the if that electoral group or those groups of people on both sides of the country were able to vote for the president of the United States based on just the popular vote, our industries would collapse. Like, this is what I love about the founders. Fucking car manufacturing, farming.
Well,
And how you fucking gonna drive a car or buy a car or put food in your mouth?
we have a
without
lot
them?
of cars. We'll get by without the car manufacturers. We can probably make that work. But the farming we need.
Okay,
I bet you people will figure out a way to drive.
you know what? That is true.
Yeah, we'll
That
figure
is
that out.
that is true.
We'll figure that out.
There's always something. It'll always be fine.
But
Whatever it
farming
is.
a problem.
The EPA basically said that, carbon dioxide is a pollutant, and because of this, we need to regulate your car and, whatever else. Constitutionally, they don't have the right to do that, but we let them do that.
And that's what what's funny too about the EPA or like about all the environmental stuff is like they're like, you guys need to change, while the corporations just dump waste into the water and like pollute
insane.
more than anyone else
It's
in the
fucking
world.
insane.
It's like, yeah.
I think Kamala Harris was in her jet, and she was circling the arena where Doug Emhoff was giving his speech at the convention.
Who the fuck
And-
is Doug Emma?
Her husband.
Okay.
But she's circling.
Thought she was gay. It's like-
She's circling in her fucking jet, listening to this speech before she actually goes wherever the fuck else she's going. And it's like, so you get to pump God knows how many tons of CO2 into the atmosphere because you want to hear your husband talk, but you're gonna tell me that I need to buy an electric car, which the electric grid is not ready for. Like in California, they're talking about banning. All right.
That's what's so funny too about the electric vehicle thing is like, they're like it doesn't tax our like system as much because it's like not as much fossil fuels, but then it's just going to tax the electrical system just as much, if not more.
But no one's talking about
I
how
know.
the majority of our energy is from fossil fuels. Like these people that buy these electric cars and think they're saving the world, it's so funny.
It is
to me.
funny.
It's so sweet.
It is funny.
Before that car,
It's adorable.
as someone who works in the car industry, before that car even leaves the factory, the amount of energy that it took, the amount of raw material and elements that it took to build that car,
And
you've
child
already got a
slavery.
bigger carbon footprint
Yeah.
than a regular gas
Yeah.
power vehicle.
Right.
And then when you plug it in at night, you're getting energy from a fucking coal or gas plant.
And that's why, to my argument, though, it's like it's so hard for the average person to like.
But it feels good.
Understand exactly.
You love it. It feels good.
Well, that's why it doesn't.
And that's
to
all
me.
that matters.
Well, that's why I don't subscribe to any of it, the good or the bad, because it's like, yeah, whatever narrative they're pushing, to me, again, is you follow the money. It's I mean, the healthcare system. One of the leading causes of bankruptcy in America is medical debt.
Yeah.
Which is like heartbreaking.
It's terrible.
It's so heartbreaking. It's like not only have you been diagnosed with this terrible thing, also you're broke now. Now, not only are you sick, you're broke to hopefully get you better. It's like the medical. I mean, and I guess the extra frustrating thing to me about the healthcare is like other countries do it. It's not like it can't be done. People were like, well, then, it's like the whole thing about the taxes kills me. It's the same thing with like the prison reform. I talk about, I think prison reform is very important. I think we need it very badly.
Yes.
I think it's like modern day slavery and yada, yada, yada.
Yes.
There's like a whole lot of issues with it. And then people are like, I'm sorry, not prison reform, but like the death penalty. I'm anti-death penalty, right? So when I say like which is new for me in the past year or two, but like when I say like I'm anti-death penalty, people go like, oh, so we're with our tax money, we're just supposed to like feed them for the rest of their lives, and it's like, bro, you understand if they released every prisoner today, your taxes aren't going to change. They're not going to like imagine the government going like, "Hey, we actually spent a little less this year, so we're going to take less from you guys." It's like, what the fuck are we talking about?
First of all, taxes are a joke. Taxes are a fucking joke.
It's theft.
It is theft, but also these niggas print money for everything. They print money for COVID relief. They print money for everything.
And just stop it at print money
for my fucking taxes.
Just stop it at print money.
The fuck are we talking about?
We can print it.
Like the amount that they're spending.
It's no longer backed by gold. The fact that
it's all a joke. It's all pretend.
And the fact that we're like, you know what's funny too? They'll go, you know how many trillions of dollars we're in debt? It's like, you think I give it to who? What are you talking about?
No. That's gonna be a problem. That is gonna be a problem.
When?
I don't know. I'm not a fucking economist, yo. But all I know is, if you look at every country that spent money, printed money the way that we are doing.
Venezuela.
Oh, look at them.
Throwing money in dumpsters, yep. The money's not worth what it's printed on.
Exactly. We are on that path.
Yep.
And it's like, I feel like we're so comfortable here.
And people are so zoomed in. And people are so zoomed into it. No one even knows about Venezuela. And the money is worth less than it's printed on.
Yes.
People are throwing it away, burning it for heat and shit. It's like, if we just keep printing money, which we are doing, it does blow my mind that everyone's not hip to it. It's like everything is built on a house of cards.
If we don't get a gold standard back and really fucking balance a budget,
we're not gonna.
You're probably right. I hope that's not true.
I hope as well
But you're probably right.
I have the same hope.
And it breaks my heart because like this American experiment is incredible. Like I fucking love this country. We got lots of problems.
Same.
We've done horrible things.
I want to say that too. So I definitely am vocal about like, you know, the things I dislike and the things that we could change, yada, yada, yada. But like it kills me the people who are like, well, then fucking leave. It's like, the whole idea of America is to be able to speak about the things that we should change. The fact that we're like it's like the Colin Kaepernick thing with him kneeling. It's like, I'm not saying whether you agree or disagree. It's not about that.
Right.
The entire point is he should be allowed to do this shit. It's like that's the whole argument. People are like, he's anti-military. He's like, the military fought for our right to knee.
Right. Well, the argument with the Kaepernick thing was that he's representing a private
well, then he can get fired for that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But that's between the company and him.
Right.
Yeah. But everyone's hate for it was American hate.
Like everybody's freaking out about the flags burning.
Like you're right, but it also depends on like how valuable you are to your company, right? If he was the best fucking person in his company, I guarantee
which by the way I am.
He would be able to do more shit and get away with it than the average fucking person.
For sure. If Tom Brady started fucking taking a shit during the anthem, no one would care.
Like, we're talking about a quarterback on a team. Like, you need that more than you need every other person on that team.
Yeah.
That's why I never liked that thing. Like, it was like... And then, honestly, it works at any place you've ever worked. I guarantee you, wherever you work right now, some people are getting fucking benefits that other people fucking aren't. I know I'm working in a place that's like that. I mean, it's just how it is. Like,
that's the reality,
we're not
too.
all
like,
equal.
People talk about, like, nepotism and favoritism. It's like, that's the reality. Like, when people are, you know... the idea of a meritocracy is great, and sometimes that does work, you know, or it's like your skills get you where you're at, but it's like, the reality is, it's like, if and let me put it to myself, like let me make me the person, right? So like if I'm owning a company and it's like I have a guy who is a 9 out of 10 skill level, and then I have a guy who's 8 out of 10 skill level, but is my literal brother, like I'm sorry, I'm probably giving because I try. It's just like it's just how it goes. I mean, to
and
act
that's
like
totally within your right. Like shit's not fair. Nothing's fair.
Exactly.
But we're trying to act right now. We're trying to act like we can make things fair, and we can't, or we can. But the only way to do that is with fucking communism and totalitarianism.
Right.
And
the fair thing kills me because it's like it's such a human thing to be like,
it's
you know,
sweet.
it is.
It's very
and
sweet.
it's such a human thing to be like, well, this isn't fair, and it's like, well, nothing has been,
ever.
or the thing that you know, a lot of people are guilty of, including myself, is like, someone will do something to them and they'll go like, I would just never do that. It's like, well, you're not them.
Right.
You know, it's so easy to be we hold everyone to our standard, you know?
But I bet that they could imagine themselves doing that if they actually
took the time to do that. Right.
In that person's shoes.
Right.
Like anything
which is such a
understandable.
silly, obvious thing as far as like put on the other person's shoes. It's it's such an obvious thing, and it's a trope that people have talked about forever. But like, do people really do it? Like, really? It's like, it's one thing to be like, no.
And I think that has a lot to do with like the ego. Like, you want to feel like you're superior or better than somebody, or you don't want to think about yourselves doing those things.
Do you think the ego is all bad? You think it's necessary for self-preservation?
I think the ego is necessary.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I just love where we're at now because we like know it, we understand it, we recognize it, and at this point, we should be able to kind of train ourselves to understand when it's coming up, what it wants, what it needs, and whether it's valid or
right, because it's not always invalid.
Right.
So that's the thing about it. So a lot of people demonize the ego, right? Because it's like, depending on your view of it, it can be demonized. But it's like the id, the super, it's like, it's a psychology thing. It's like the ego is a thing. Now there's lots of different definitions, same as the self, right? But it's like the ego is healthy for self-preservation. It's like the people who believe in fate still look both ways when they cross the street.
Correct.
You know what I mean? It's like you have to have a certain level of like, I need to live, Right. But I think that the ego is like, I don't know. The ego is a tough one for me to grasp with, because it's like
it's a bitch, yo.
Yeah.
Like, the ego is a bitch. I appreciate it. Like, without it, like, none of us would be here. Like, there's so many good things that come from it, but at the same time, it's so limiting. Like, there are so many times where like, I want to do something, I want to make something, and in my head it's like, well, you can't do that, or it's not going to be good or whatever. And it's like, that's that response, that thought is like, it's there from like my ancestors and like evolution, like trying to protect me. And it's like, thank you, that's so sweet, but at the same time it's like, you're now hindering me from doing the things that I want to do. Like,
and there's so much of that, like, people don't like, and I'm not saying it's correct, but like, so I was gonna say, people don't get this thing, like, as if I get it, but like the things that I also don't understand is like, our nervous system was built through evolution, right? So like, the same fear that you have for public speaking is a fear that you would have for a saber-toothed tiger.
Yes.
Like, your body, and it's not like you literally feel like I'm going to die, but you can't even articulate it, right? You just feel the anxiety, the pressure, the uncomfortability, and it's like, that's evolutionarily designed.
Yes.
It's here for a reason.
Yes.
And that almost helps to know, because you go like, hey, I recognize that, I see it, and don't run from it.
Right.
That's another thing people do is like, if you're sad, be sad.
Right.
Like, everyone's trying to look for the solution to the feeling.
Right.
And something I realized like throughout therapy is that I intellectualize as an attempt to not feel. Which is like,
I've heard you say that before.
Yeah. Now, go ahead.
I feel like I'm maybe the same way.
It's something to think about. And it may not be the case, but for me it is.
Yeah,
and not always. I'm an intellectual person, so I like to think, right?
Yeah.
But I definitely, like, once my therapist had said that, I'm like, holy, like, it resonated with me, right? And for me, because it's like, I'm not, so there's like, the idea of the mind and body, the idea that they're separate is silly. It's like dualistic.
Yes.
It's like the mind and body are the same thing.
Yes.
Now, to recognize them separately is important to me, And it's like, I often, the type of therapy I'm doing, he asks a lot, like, what are you feeling in your body? And most of the time, my answer is like, nothing. What are you talking about, bro? I'm feeling like my ass in this seat. I don't feel anything in my body. And he's like, well, then that's your answer, And I guess eventually maybe I'll start feeling, or how you feel uncomfortable and you feel it in your chest or your stomach or whatever. It's like, there are certain times, when I'm not in therapy that I do feel things in my body. But even to recognize, like, all right, this is what I'm feeling in my body. And that isn't a separate thing from your mind. Your mind and body aren't actually separate.
Right.
But the somatic part of it is different than the intellectual part of it, you know? And I definitely have, like, if I'm feeling something or I'm dysregulated, I'll go like, all right, well, let me make sense of this.
Yeah.
Let me understand this, because then it'll make me feel better. It's like, well, it's okay to not feel better, right? It's temporary.
Yes.
Everything's impermanent.
Everything.
So feel the bad feeling.
Yeah.
You pussy.
Sit in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like when I feel a negative feeling, or I'm like fucking depressed or sad or whatever, I just sit in that shit. Like, there's nothing wrong.
It's not going to kill you.
Right. Like,
you're supposed to do this.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's what it's there for. That feeling is there for you to feel Great point. You're supposed to feel the thing. That's a great point, Mike. It's like, well, this came up. Let me get out of that. It's like, no, this is here for a reason. Like, let me look at it. Let me not dwell in it. Because that's the difference between like pain and suffering.
Right.
Pain is inevitable. Suffering is a choice.
Right.
When you choose to sit in something and not get out of it, that eventually, or like dwell in it, that becomes a choice, you know. But it's like you can't avoid pain. You know, Buddhists say life is suffering. You know.
Yeah.
Which is heavy.
It is. I love it though.
Me too. Because it also just it doesn't sugarcoat it. It acknowledges it. Like, so here's the thing I like to say. Like, everyone that you know and love will die.
Yes.
Including you.
Yes.
It's like, you know, and it's just like, we're so scared of death in this Western culture that we just like avoid it at all costs.
It's so funny.
It's crazy. It's like to the point where we don't even like want to spend time with our old people because, you know, and yeah, there's this built-in obsolescence too. I think I've talked to you about it, but like, because of technology, the elders in our society are kind of pointless, useless. Where back in the day, the elders were like who you got the information from.
Right.
They were the ones who taught you how to hunt and how to fish and how to get these like life lessons. But like these days, it's like, oh, you don't know Snapchat? You're a fucking idiot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not literally, but like as far as like you're out of touch.
Yeah.
You're out of tune. So it's like there's this weird built-in obsolescence to our elderly where, and then also we look at it as the final stage rather than like a transitional stage. Because like, you know, certain Buddhist traditions look at it as like the final transition. You're now transitioning into something new that you don't even know what it is. It's like the final cocoon of the butterfly. It's like, this isn't the end. This is the end of this experience, but you're about to enter a full new one.
Well, that's if you've done the work, though. If you haven't done the work, you're just going to end up right back in another body.
That's reincarnation belief. Yeah, that's a specific type, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's part of the Buddhist philosophy.
Well, the Buddhist was just a man, so
is all Buddhist reincarnation or no?
I don't know.
Right, no, I know we're not experts, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, it's like if you don't do the work to
reach nirvana.
Yes, then you will
keep coming
come back.
Yeah, so that's the reincarnation theory. But like, so even taking out the reincarnation, it's like at base facts, we have no idea what happens when we die. No matter what religion, no matter what it is, it's like it's a transition. Right?
Yeah.
It is a transition.
It is.
Now, you know, whether it's like, you know, the end of this consciousness or our shit continues on or it gets, you know, whatever happens. But like the idea that it's just like the end and then like we are reminded of our own mortality by dealing with the elderly. Mm-hmm. So it's like people that just have this aversion to it.
Yes.
You know?
It's true.
Yeah. It's kind of fucked up.
It is. Like, I don't know. I feel like if we looked at it like dead in the face, like we would live our lives completely differently. Like, because we avoid it, like, we think, oh, okay, I'll stick with this job I hate. I'll do this. I'll do that. If you really accept and understand that, like, you are dying, like, this is it, I feel like you would live.
And you don't even know when.
Life. You don't even know when.
It's it, and you don't even know when.
One of my favorite things to think about is, like, I forgot where I read it, but it's like, you know your birthday every year. But every year goes by and you have no idea what your death date is.
If you could find out when it was, would you know? Would you want to know? That's a good question. I love that question. If you could find out when you would die and how, would you want to know? If either one, which one, or
it would
both?
Affect you so much. Dude.
I think I would want to know. I think I would.
Until you hear a date you don't want to hear.
I feel like
tomorrow.
Right.
I mean,
it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
I feel like I would say no. Only because it robs you a little bit of the human experience, right? I don't know. I mean, yes, obviously that information would be great, right? Because, and people talk about this, like if you get diagnosed with you ask people, you know, if you were diagnosed with a terminal illness and you had 6 months to live, what would you do? And someone will say, like, I would quit my job and get an RV and travel the States. And you say, well, you have a terminal illness, right?
Right.
I was about to say, you have it.
It's called being a human
Are
being,
you living everything you want to do right now?
You have that, and that's why it's great to know, like memento mori.
Then you're just
remember you must die. The Latin phrase is like, I love that quote. It sounds morbid to people, but to me, it's the opposite because, like you said, it's like
beautiful.
I know how impermanent this is. And I don't even know how impermanent, right? Because it could end tomorrow, it could end next week, could end next month. But like the people we love start dying, and the older you get, the more of them start dying, and then eventually you go like, well, damn, I should start. It's like we're all going to die.
Yeah.
So to get so comfortable, and then even the marriage thing is like, to me, not fully but partially an attempt to escape the mortality.
Yes.
Right? Would
yes.
you agree with that?
Yes.
It's like, because like marriage is forever.
Yes.
Right? And it's like, well, no, it's not. It's still
It's
death
not.
or divorce, right?
Yes.
Every marriage ends.
Yes.
Some in death, some in divorce.
Mhm.
That's it. Every single one ends. It's like, well, no, if we die together, we'll go to heaven, or whatever the fucking thought is. It's like, look, every single thing ends. So anything we can hold on to, this is my forever home. Oh, I ain't not forever. It's like, in 100 years, this home ain't gonna be here, you know?
Yeah.
And
It's the grasping.
It's the
Let
grasping is the issue.
Let it go. Let the fist go. Stop grasping at anything.
I just posted an Alan Watts quote like a couple days ago. It was like, if you're clinging to the idea of God, you've failed, because the idea of God is like letting go, right? The idea of it is surrender, and it's like, so I posted it and I didn't get much. Honestly, anytime I post something good, no one responds. If I post something horrific, people like always respond. But like my thing was like, if I were to get pushback, I would say it's not the belief in God, it's the clinging.
Yes.
It's the grasping.
Yes.
It's genuine. He's not anti-God.
Right.
He's just saying if you're clinging to that,
Right.
then you're avoiding something here.
Yes.
Right? It's the clinging and the grasping. It's the same thing with like even relationships and codependency.
Yes.
If you grasp this thing so hard because you don't want to let it go, you're going to kill it. You don't yank the flower out, you water it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so hard not to grasp.
That's how people do, though. When you love something, let it go. No one does that.
Mhm.
No one does that here. People are like, I love something. Let me smother it till it's fucking mine.
Let me smother it and then make it obligatory. Let me make it an obligation.
And I hate that.
Who are you telling? I'm Mr. Autonomy. It's like,
right.
I prefer it to be a choice. By the way, it's more sweet
Yes.
if it's a choice.
Yes.
Listen,
I was just.
you know the whole saying, it's cheaper to keep her?
Yeah.
It's like a saying, right? It was all
Yeah.
funny and all that, but it's like,
Yeah.
that's so sad to me that that's a saying.
Yes.
And then also it's like, a lot of people find security in the structure of the relationship, which is, guess what? False security. So like,
Right.
I read the book called Polysecure, which is
Mhm.
about finding security within poly relationships because it's not based on the structure.
Mhm.
And it's like, it was just, whether you're poly or not, it's a helpful book because
Right.
it's like, you should be able to build security without the foundation. It's like everyone's on this pick me shit. I'm not worthy unless I'm chosen. Like someone chose me. It's like everyone wants to be chosen. It's like you choose you.
Yes.
What the fuck?
It's so sad. Like if you're looking for validation outside of yourself, like I don't know what to tell you.
Everyone.
But you're doomed.
Everyone.
You're fucking doomed.
And that's everyone.
Number one. Number two, I was just talking about this shit. Somebody was talking about marriage. Someone was asking me if I'd ever get married again.
Because you've been married. She's been married, by the way.
Yeah. A coworker was
You know what else
asking
I
me-
hate when people say failed marriage? I hate that. I hate that.
I mean, technically, that's what it is.
Unfortunately, because you said this was for to be forever.
Right.
That's what I hate
Yeah.
so much. I wish marriage was like, hey, let's sign up for 5 years. You know? Or
That's
3 years.
yeah.
And then re-sign.
Yes.
It's just like the whole idea of like, this is forever no matter what. Who knows what's going to happen in 10 years?
Who fucking knows? And who in their right mind would want someone there out of obligation? I'm telling you right now.
That kills me.
The moment somebody wakes up to next to me and they're like, "Oh, is this bitch again?" Hop the fuck out the bed. I'll get out the bed.
I don't even
We're
want
not
that.
doing this
Exactly.
anymore. And I don't want to have
I
that feeling
want it
either.
to be a choice.
Yes.
Every time.
Yes.
The
100%.
fact that that's the thing. It's like the fact that you know, there's no obligation and you keep re-choosing the person
Right.
is so special.
Yes.
Like that makes it so much more special. I could
Yes.
choose anyone in the world and I'm choosing you over and over again. That's
Right.
like so special. Where it's like,
Agreed.
well, we're married and we had the kids, so it's like I'm not gonna have to, you know, we're gonna have to split up the kid. You know, it's like
And don't even talk about the kids in it, because I feel like that is the worst situation or the worst example for a kid to see growing up. If parents are in a relationship for the kids and they don't fucking fuck with each other like that, you're setting your kids up to have the same exact experience.
Yes.
Like,
so is
100%.
society, and then you're
100%.
reinforcing it. Yep.
it's so sick. It's this sick cycle. I hate it so much. It's like we don't our traditional idea of like monogamy and pair bonding and all that shit, it was really nice back when things were hard and tough and like we couldn't survive. We're at the point now where like everybody can be independent. Everybody can make their own shit, do their own shit. And
we got Instagram. There's bitches everywhere. It's like back in the day, it was like you had your wife and that was it.
Right.
It was like
right.
Or you had a whole nother family 10 minutes down the road.
Yes.
Because there was no Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's another crazy thing. I just watched that, like, Scott and Lacey Peterson murder, like, on Netflix. And it's like, he had a whole separate girlfriend. He killed his wife and then tried to like, not tell the girlfriend. It was global news. And he tried to, like, hide it from his girlfriend. It's like, that clearly had to have been 20 years ago, because it's like, what are you talking about?
Right. But didn't you say that, like, murders were dropping, and, like, they're like, how many were being solved or something?
No, not that. Okay, so not that they were. So I looked up the murder solve rates in Maryland, and it's like 50%, right? 52% or something like that. It's basically half. It was like something egregious. Remember? That's why you remember it. It was like,
that's crazy to me.
It's so crazy to me. If you
with
look
all
up,
this technology.
And I watch plenty of true crime, and let them tell it, everyone gets caught.
Yes.
And it's like, literally, it's roughly half. Whether it's 52 or 48 or whatever, it's somewhere around the midpoint are solved. Now, obviously, you got the, poverty, inner city, gang conflicts where people aren't cooperating with police and this, that, and the other, and you don't have the resources. It spoke to certain things, like about why, because they gave some explanatory threads, but it's like, that's crazy to me that's still even an option.
That's wild.
I look at it like when they gave us Jesus, there was like, you do bad, you go to hell, blah, blah. I mean, of course they're not fucking solving all this shit. Half of it is probably just shit they say so that we don't start doing crimes in the first place. Because they're like, oh, we're going to catch 75% of you, so don't start. Yeah, well, they're going to tell us the real fucking number.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about religion, too, is like a lot of people act like we can't have morality without religion. And if you watch some of Sam Harris's debates, his whole thing is like, it has nothing to do with religion, why he's a good person, It's like, or same for me, right? It's like, I choose to not be a bad person because it doesn't feel right.
Right.
And now that's an interesting thing to think about. Why doesn't it feel right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's something, again, capital S self type shit, where it's like, if there is this compassionate self that's inside, it's like, maybe that's why I don't feel right.
I think that's evolutionarily, I think that's based in evolution too.
Explain though, because,
like in your group, like if you're a caveman in your group, it's going to benefit you more to
play along.
Yes. Now people outside of your group, it's a completely different story.
Right.
But
almost opposite.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know you. Like,
I should maybe kill you.
Yeah.
For
just
our
on
safety.
Principle. Like, yeah.
One GP.
I think we evolved to cooperate with each other in our groups.
Right.
And that is what morality is.
See, I don't even know if it's that, because it's like relative morality, right? So if you go to like a different country, people will get stoned to death for being gay or cheating or whatever. So it's like, I don't even necessarily know that it's evolutionary. I think it's more societally, but at the same time, I do believe. See, that's the thing about moral relativism.
You're stoning the person outside of your group, like,
because
you're
they
not
went against
straight
the group.
Like me. You're not part of my group.
Okay, fair. So that could still be evolutionary. But my not argument, but my thought may be like, I don't. Again, that's easy for me to say from where I'm sitting, but like, I feel like if I stoned someone to death, I would know when I went home at night to lay in bed that was fucked up, Now, I don't know if that's true, though, because, again, that's easier for me to say from where I'm sitting in America.
Yeah.
If that's part of the culture, it's part of the culture.
Yeah. I feel like the people that do that think that it is a righteous thing that they're doing.
It's morally correct, actually, right?
Yes. And
not only wrong, but
that's what
right.
we don't think about. Like the people that are fucking stoning people to death or strapping bombs to their chest. Yeah. They think
Shout out to that video. I'll send her like I like so I watch war footage. Do you know that? Like I would get on X, like the old Twitter or whatever, and I'll watch like war footage. Yeah. And I just send her clips of like the most horrific shit.
That's just crazy.
Yeah. It cannot be good for my mental health, but anyways, if you're on X, war monitor clips or go clips, which is short for gore clips, I mean, it's just like everything's on camera these days.
Yeah.
So that's what's crazy about it. It's like everything that's happening in all these other foreign countries that we used to be like, it's just over there. It can be right in your fucking face.
It can.
It's on camera.
It's true. I wonder, like, I don't know. Like, I watch that shit and I'm just like, I'm not even fazed by it. And I wonder, like, how much of that is millennials in general, I heard like we were just like raised on trauma.
I also think it's a bit of tribalism. Like if you saw that video of that suicide bomb guy I showed you, and it was at like the Howard County school, right?
Yeah.
It would just feel so closer to, you know, because they're, you know, people who are speaking a different language, you know, again, not even consciously. I think I talked about last episode that the book that I'm reading that showed the pinprick tribalism thing, which I think I did talk about on here, but basically it's like they showed a video. Did I talk about this one here, or do you not know?
Not really sure.
He don't remember no matter what. Even though I did talk about it, he'd be like, oh. But so there's like these science experiments they did where they hooked up people to fMRI machines where they measure brain waves. They talk, and it's like if you see a video of a hand getting pricked with a needle, your pain brain waves spike a little.
I can see that. I don't think you talked about that then.
Yeah, so it's not as much as that like actually hurts you, right? But you can tell that your brain is spiked. You know, it's like one of those things. So that's evolutionarily. So it's interesting that tribalism is evolutionary because they did this thing where they showed a video video of hands getting pricked, right? And then they would put a label under the hand, right? And you're agnostic, right? So let's just say like they would show a video of a hand and it would say Christian, pinprick, and they would measure your brain waves. Then they'd show another hand that would say Islam or Buddhist Muslim. Or whatever, right? Muslim, yeah. So whatever it was, they would poke it in and your brain would spike a certain amount. But then if it says agnostic guy named Mike or agnostic, and then it pokes it, your brain spikes higher. Which is very interesting because it's not a choice you're making. Right. I just found it so intriguing because it's not a choice that you're making. Like tribalism is genuinely built into us. Now, so the argument is like, well, how do we fix that? Well, it's like, well, just be aware of it. Just be aware that like when you hear a story about fucking Ahmed dying, right? It doesn't hit you as hard as hearing about Stephen dying.
Right.
And again, that's not like you're a bad person. That's built into you. So to just be aware of it is such a head step.
Yeah, that reminds me of implicit bias. They did an experiment where
that's exactly what that is, right?
Yeah, specifically like race based.
Which is tribalism.
Yeah. But every person, no matter their color, would shoot the darker skinned person faster and quicker without them having a weapon in their hand. Like when you do those like virtual video games or whatever, like they put these people in these,
and they've done the test. That's what I love about
black people included. They would shoot the dark person first or faster.
And wait, the dark person or the white person or someone who didn't look like them?
No. Black people with the gun would shoot the black people faster.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I thought you meant it was like specifically to the tribe. It's like no. So
no.
Oh wow.
There's some sort of deep seated.
Wow. Like, honestly, like listen.
That's so intriguing.
Yeah.
If you had a bunch of people, right, and you had just sweatpants, right, a sweatsuit. You had half of them in black sweatsuits, head to toe, and then white sweatsuits. Doesn't matter what the color, honestly. We'll just say white for whatever reason. Dude, for whatever reason, like, I don't know, dude. The black color, like, we make it in guns. Everything that's scary
but is
has
that
black in it. Listen, whether or not it has to do with the actual people or not, I don't know. But, like, fucking, like, black cats. Like, anything you can think of. Like,
let me go back to the night.
Think of the scariest white thing you can think of. But good, let's.
I think that's evolutionary.
Systematic racism.
I think that's something based in evolution too.
Probably.
Because when the sun goes down, you can't fucking
dark
see.
shadows.
You hear shit. You don't know what's going on.
Sure.
The dark, the black is scary.
100%.
Like it's built into us. Like
the unknown is what it is.
Yes.
You can't see. You know.
And that's what it is. And that's what racism is so often. It's the unknown.
Yeah.
It's people who don't know the other culture or race.
Just
so
like
they have
you.
Fear.
And they're just like trying to live.
Yeah, it's the unknown. It's
terrible.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
So Hitler was a good guy. You're a big Hitler person. He was high on meth the whole time, and all the Nazis were high on meth.
Oh, let me just say this: the drug that you were talking about in a previous episode, that all the Nazis were on, that got them through the forest in like 3 days, it was Pervitin.
Which?
The one when you were
basically Adderall, which is basically meth.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I just want to put the name out there.
I got you. I thought you were saying an argument too, or like
no.
Yeah. So,
Pervitin,
exactly.
Yeah.
Which is basically crystal meth.
Yes.
which is what the Nazis were on.
And they thought they had weeks. They thought they had weeks, not days. They had weeks.
Well, that's what's so interesting about it. It's like, okay, so they were on drugs. Who cares? It's like, well, every war until this point was like, okay, here they have crossed our border. We have this much time to prepare.
Right.
When they're not sleeping and they're high on meds, like, and then also we talked about like, just imagine like a fucking horde of methed up Nazis running through your dad's like, well, you want to talk about the devil or like, holy fuck, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And France was not ready, yo. Like France, they haven't been ready for a while.
Yeah. They're busy like
French I just love how all of this could have been prevented if we had actually listened to the reconnaissance team that saw the traffic jam going into.
Sure, yeah. That's not all of it, right? Arguably, yeah.
The majority of them were there in line, stuck in traffic.
Right.
But anyway, what were we talking
about?
That
was a huge snafu, yeah. Snafu.
What was I gonna say?
I cut you off. Per usual.
It's all right.
Pervitin. Prior to the Nazis.
Oh, Hitler.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not a Hitler supporter, but being empathetic.
I was waiting for that but.
Like it's a tragic story to me, and I love tragedy.
By the way, beauty and tragedy have the exact same line. The line. So yeah, that's the thing about me too. Is like I watch a lot of stuff that is like, you know, tragic, and it does make me feel like that. But like, there's so much beauty in those stories. Now, whether it's dark beauty or bright beauty or whatever, it's like, it's just so intriguing to me from like an artistic standpoint how tragedy and beauty are like.
It's a necessary component. It's a necessary component for growth, for beauty, for change. Like going back to before there was even anything living on this planet. Like at one point you had like Earth sitting by itself with no moon. And then all of a sudden the planet Theia comes in and hits it and smacks it on the perfect angle. Not enough to destroy everything, but just enough to shave a little bit off and create 2 moons at the time and then coalesce into 1 moon. Had that not happened, I mean, it looked tragic at the time. Like, oh, this planet's done. Had that not happened, we wouldn't have had a stable axis. We wouldn't have had stable, reliable weather.
And there were so many of those
The dinosaurs.
Events.
Yeah. Like, something has to die. Everything has to die. Everything has to be remade. Tragedy is part of that process, and it's beautiful. But we look at it like, oh my God, this is horrible. Like, it's really not. It's really not. It's inevitable, and that's okay. And like,
and the more you look at it, the prettier it can become. It's like, we're not avoiding this. Right. This is a part of it.
Right.
Let me ask you this: do you think that's all just completely coincidental, like the smashes and the hits and the life on Earth? What's your feeling about that?
I happen to subscribe to the multiverse theory, and in that theory, every possible scenario is being played out in some corner of the universe or the multiverse.
How did the multiverse get here? You don't claim to know that.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody knows, but
definitely no one does.
What I love about it though is like there are multiple physicists and mathematicians trying to figure out like where everything came from, how everything got started.
Constantly.
But most of them are coming to the same conclusion based on their own calculations and their own theories that there is a multiverse.
Well, that is also an easier theory than the universe.
Well,
because of all the possibilities.
Within the universe, there's a multiverse theory too. So you have multiple multiverse theories. One is there's only one big gigantic universe, and it's infinite. And within that, you're going to run into another Earth or another solar system like ours.
That I would agree with, but like
it's like, yeah, if you take sand,
the multiverse though, altogether.
Yeah, but, like I don't know, like if you take a bucket of sand and pour it out. If you do that an infinite amount of times, at one point, that sand is going to fall in the same exact pattern as it did at a previous pour. And that's the one universe multiverse theory, which Max Tegmark subscribes to, and that I love him. He's my baby forever. But I don't know if he subscribes to it, but that's what he's presented. And then there's another one where it's like every time you make a decision, a new universe branches off and bubbles off. into a universe where you pick the opposite choice or whatever, and then you've got just ones where it's like there's planes and they bump into each other and make new universes, whatever the case may be.
I hate that one. I'm sorry. I hate that one. But good.
I don't care. I don't care
Totally.
how it happens or what it looks like, but that theory resonates with me a lot because I feel like that's kind of describing like what we would describe as like traditionally like God. We say that, you know, God is all knowing and omnipotent and
he's mad if you jerk off.
Omnipresent. Well, yeah, in the
do
very
not touch your own
form.
body. Yeah.
Yeah, which I do not fuck with that. Like it's very hard for me to conceptualize like a man in the sky like looking and judging. But
you know how many people I've met that like so honestly more women than men, obviously, but like so there's multiple people in their adulthood that don't masturbate, right?
Well, I do that. Well, I do that for Lent.
You do what?
I abstain from masturbating during Lent.
Why?
I feel like it's a very good exercise in self-control.
Okay, so that's a different thing though. An exercise in self-control is different.
Okay.
I get that.
Are you
like,
trying to trick God though? Like, why are you doing it then?
Why do you do it during Lent?
Right. You do it anytime.
Because
starting to end.
Trick God.
I'm naturally very, very hedonistic. Like I'm very like instant gratification. I want the things that feel good. I don't want to worry about like mundane tasks.
But you understand hedonism is a treadmill. The hedonistic treadmill where you constantly need more.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I do. I kind of feel that way.
Scientifically, I think that's how it goes.
But
it just becomes your baseline, and you need more.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Problem
It's like a
hedonism.
nice reset, but also because I'm a masochist, it's like it's painful.
So selfishly, you do like it, kind of.
I kind of like it.
The
on a level.
deprivation.
The deprivation is appealing to me, and it's like I don't know. It's been crazy. Every year has gotten more and more intense. I've been doing it for like 3 years.
Intense in what way?
Like
the restrictions are more intense?
No, not the restrictions, but like the feeling of it. Like I'll just be walking or I'll just be standing, and it's like if the wind blows the wrong way, I'm gonna come.
I'm
like,
sure. Yeah. There's only been like a couple times in my life I didn't come for like even just weeks at a time, and those are the only times I've had a wet dream. You know? All right, so let me ask you this. What do you feel about deja vu? What's your idea of deja vu? What are your favorite theories about that?
I don't know, but I would like to think that deja vu is kind of like us. I don't believe in time. I don't think time is real. I think it's an illusion. I think everything that's ever happened or will happen is happening all at once. Kind of like the same way when you watch a movie, you see it play, it mimics the illusion of movement, but really it's just these still pictures compressed so tightly together that it mimics movement. It's not actually, you're not witnessing it. I think that's what reality is. So I feel like deja vu is kind of like our consciousness either being like pulled back or pulled forward into another plane of the frame.
Yeah.
And kind of like, it's like feedback or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they're always intriguing to me, the theories about it, because it's like, you know, people get into the multiverse there too, where it's like
yes.
you happen to have lined up with like a different version of the universe where it's like you took a slightly different path, or the idea that like one that is not very woo-woo is like that, you know, you are processing something with your brain a split second before you're processing it with your eyes and then brain. So it's like when you see it, you're like, have I seen this? But it's really though you just processed it right before, you know?
Yeah.
It's an interesting theory.
Yeah. I think you're that sounds like a subconscious kind of like
well, yeah, the subconscious is so intriguing to me because it's like it's there, you know? And in the parts work and in the IFS, not to bring everything back to that, but it's like there's so much going on with us that we don't know about. It's like once, you know, after having been in therapy, not that I know better, but like even just learning a little bit about it, it's like because I'm able to recognize certain neuroses in me, I'm able to recognize them in other people, you know? So it's like, not always, but like sometimes it's like, it's hard for me to even some people have not looked at it whatsoever, you know, and it's like, I don't know where I'm going with that, but yeah, it's like, people just are walking around having no idea, you know, the unexamined life, you know, and it's like, obviously you can hyper obsess over it and like worry too much, but to not look at it at all and to just keep going, I don't know. Ignorance is bliss as well.
I do believe that.
Shout out to my mom. No, I mean that she's willfully ignorant. She's not like dumb. She's just like, she's willfully, she walks around with like these blinders on, and it works for her so well. That's the whole thing. It's like, it works for her. It wouldn't work for me. We're different people. It's like, as far as like, the would you want to know when you die and how, it's like, I'm too curious to not want to know, you know? Even if that would be detrimental to me, I do want to know.
Yeah. For the record, I will be uploading my consciousness to the cloud if I make it that far.
It's already uploaded to the cloud as the whole thing.
No. Like me. Like if I had the choice, like I'm living forever. Like,
well, they just did the second trial in Neuralink, the second human trial.
Neuralink is not that though.
It will be. It will be. It's the first human brain interface that's been, you know, successfully FDA approved and all. It's going to be, yeah, it's it. I mean, they're playing Counter-Strike too. They're playing fucking, you know, computer games with their minds already. Day one. They get the implant and day one. They're moving cursors and playing games, you know.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. It's impressive.
Yeah. Like the leap.
Yeah.
The leap that we've made in such a short amount of time is incredible.
Well, that's the whole thing that they say is like with the printing press and the steel revolution and all these other revolutions, like we had time to catch up. Society had time to like grasp it. With AI, the leading people in it are going like, we have no idea where this is going to be. You know what I mean? The experts are all saying like, yeah, we're not sure.
Yeah.
So like when all of the smartest people in the field are like, we're not sure, it's like, it's just funny to hear people that are so sure either way. Yeah. Yeah. So we've done a while here. We've done the thing. Thank you for coming on. Next time you come on, we have to talk about the Church of Fellatio. I would love to talk about.
Oh my God, I was waiting for that.
I know. I just feel like we've done the thing. I feel like we're gonna have to break it up into a couple forums, but there's so much more I want to talk to you about, especially milking tables and the Church of Fellatio, and
Milking
there's
tables.
Yeah, there's you have a lot of like and I'm obviously biased probably because I'm a guy and I'm like, yeah, dick sucking is important, but you had talked about it in a way that like isn't pandering. You're not like I've always said, like, not always, but I've said for years that the difference between a good blowjob and a bad blowjob is one person really wants to be there and one person is doing it for you, and like your whole theory and like idea about it is that, and it's like the way you're able to articulate it is like it's impressive and it's different.
Thank you. I am very, very passionate about that. Can I get into it or no?
Go ahead. Yeah, fuck it.
I'm not, okay, no. I'm not going to go too deep into it. All I will say is that.
We could go for, we can get real deep into it. This is falling apart.
All I'll say is that for me, it is like a spiritual experience. I think it should be viewed as like a practice, same way that like yoga and meditation are.
The sucking of the penis.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
I think it would be beneficial to like society as a whole. There is so much, and I feel like could be applied to men in the reverse, or the people that I don't know about that though. Like that's not my area of expertise, but I want to change the way I feel like Western culture, we've demoted the penis. We've kind of like taken it off of its pedestal. Like if you go into the East, like they've got fucking temples and monuments.
Statues.
Yeah. Both of these things are equally beautiful and important. But I feel like we make a joke out of dicks in America or just dicks on this side of the planet.
And also there's this weird like hierarchical thing of like you being in servitude to someone while you're sucking their dick. Like you're less than that. It's like, and that's what you're.
But this is the key. Oh, we didn't even get into this. As a submissive, all right, there's power dynamics involved as well. But when you serve you are choosing to serve.
You're in charge.
Yes, it is this.
That's what's so interesting about the dom sub thing that people don't get.
Like,
there's so much respect involved, and there's so much. Yeah,
yes.
It's like the power isn't just one sided.
Specifically, sucking dick though. Like you are the conductor. You're like the maestro, but you're also the servant. And it is this beautiful like place in duality that like I think a lot of people could benefit in understanding and experiencing. And once you understand that and get there, like it could be your favorite thing to do on the planet. And
also more than a sex level.
Yes, it's way more than that.
That's what I'm saying. Like your idea of it is so much deeper than like this is a sexual thing. It's like it's like you're conducting a symphony. Like you're saying, like there's more going on.
And you're
in your
communicating
head.
Without words. You're
that's
getting
somatic shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're getting and you're receiving and you're also giving. It's I don't even know what the word is for it. Like beautiful is not the word.
Yeah. I would say that a lot of people like you know, the biggest hold up within like super God, I hate to say the word divine, but like a super intense sexual experiences is people are stuck in their heads. Right? Like you have to get out of your head.
Yeah.
You have to suck dick more. You know, vote for Hitler. What else was it? Watch anime, suck dick more, vote for Hitler.
Not all anime. Fuck
Suck
Dragon
dick
Ball
intentionally.
Z. Kidding me?
Intentionally. It's about the intention. And so that's another thing that, you know, yeah, it's like I don't know, I'm obsessed with sex. Obviously I'm a sex addict and all this. And it's like, but I do believe that there's way more going on there than people give credit to. It's like as a former drug addict, it's like sex is one of those things that was easy to be addicted to because it's like I'm present, you know? And there's something about being in that flow state of being present where it's not like, oh, I'm going to be rough this time or I'm going to be sensual this time or I'm going to do this. It's like whatever happens. Like when people are like, how do I do it good? It's like, well, I couldn't tell you because it really depends. Or it's like, you know, it's my issue with the dichotomous thinking of like, do you like a praise or degradation king? It's like, well, both of them.
Both.
Yeah, it's like at the same time. It's like it should be all of the things at once, whatever feels right. I shouldn't be doing dirty talk because then my partner wants it.
Right.
If I feel like saying this shit, I'm gonna say it.
And
if I don't, you can feel the difference.
If somebody's doing shit because they know that you want them to do it, it does not hit the same way.
I'd say a girl like, do you want me to call you daddy? It's like, I want you to call me whatever you want to call me. Right? Like,
don't get me started on that.
Yeah.
Don't get me started. I fucking cannot stand like on these dating apps when I'm on like the kinky apps, I'm on like the regular apps. When I'm on the kinky ones, dudes will message me and be like, okay, first of all, you're gonna call me daddy, blah blah blah. Who the fuck is doing that? Who the fuck are you? Who are you? Like,
okay, some guy.
You take the entire meaning out of it. Like you're operating in the shallow end of the kink pool.
And I think that gives it a bad name a lot of times. It's like a lot of people are operating in some fucked up shit there.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not judging them. Like, it could be very satisfying, you know, just
for some people, yeah.
Yeah, just immediately like, okay, we're doing this for the night or whatever. That's fine. But there should be a different word for it. There should be a different
Agreed.
There's a completely different feeling. Like, for someone, in my head, for me to submit to somebody, there has to be a gigantic level of trust and understanding and just admiration for somebody. Like, you're not getting that shit off break.
Submit, yeah.
I don't fucking know you. Like, why would I give that to you?
Right. And it would almost be alarming if you just submitted when you didn't know someone. It's like,
right. And it's alarming to think that you would think that I would do that.
Yeah.
Like, who are these bitches you're fucking? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, that's all right. I'm gonna stop because it's gonna go too far. I'm not trying to take it too much time. But yeah, there's a lot of problems there.
Well, hey, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming and running that shit. Thanks, Mike.
Hey, man.
I'm here behind the ones and the twos and the threes and the fours.
Whatever you're going to call them.
Yeah, I'll have to get you back on. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sure people will hate you for whatever reasons they have, you know.
Oh, my God.
Everyone who listens hates, trust me. But yeah, come back next week to hate some more. We'll be here. Thanks for listening. Tell your neighbors. If this doesn't work, I'll kill myself. Damn.